What's good, folks? How you doing out there? Welcome to a live edition of Real Talk for Real Men. I am your host. I'm your boy Lee Black, in case you don't know. And welcome to a live edition on this Saturday, end of the month, 6/28. Can you believe it, folks? We are over 6 months down in this hot mother hubber. And so we're going to hopefully have us a good show tonight. And let me bring on the family because it's been many weeks since we've been available, but I think I might have almost just about all of the family. I see McMack in the house from Memphis. What's up, McMack?
Oh, not much. What's going on?
Oh, baby, trying to stay cool. It is raining outside and it's going to cool us down out here. How are you?
Yep, same. It's raining and storming here. So yeah, hopefully that cools it down.
That's what I'm hoping. It was a heat index of 105 today. So glad to be on the inside and glad to be able to do the show. I see I got my brother from another in the house, Mr. Kendrick Sports Hustle himself. What's popping, partner?
Oh boy, this weather is right up my freaking alley.
Oh, hell
You
no.
know I love it. I'm shining like a Negro slave picking cotton. You feel me?
No.
I'm loving
I
it. How you guys doing?
We doing all right, but me and Tasha, we are winter people. It's hot
Yes,
as
already
a
know.
pig's ass out there.
I already know. Yeah, it's hot here in Texas. It was like in the mid 90s today with about the same type of heat index you said, Brother Black. But no, it ain't been raining. We have no rain in sight here in Texas.
Man, it's rained pretty much every day or every other day. And as Tasha, me and I talked about today, a couple hours from now, you won't even know the difference. It'll be dry as a bone. So I hope it cools it down because today it has been brutal. But I'm so glad to see you. We got Mr. Craig Thomas in the house. What's going on, fam? How you doing? Thanks for popping in and checking us out.
What up, Craig?
I just got off the phone with my sis. She's going to try to pop in. She's talking to her husband. Tony's getting better. He's still doing rehab, but he's definitely getting better. I talked to him as well. And I'm also told that the Postons are coming on tonight. So we can expect to see the fam. So if nothing else, we might miss Sherry. She'll pop in. She's talking to her husband. But I'm expecting to see Hannah and Bert. But, without further ado, we're going to get off. What are we talking about tonight? And before I get into the topic, I want to share. Right now, it's only showing I got one viewer. So thank you, Craig. I hope people join us. But again, we recognize these are the dog days of the beginning of summer. It's that quirky time of year where kids are getting out of school. People are planning their summer breaks. It's hot as a motherfucker. And there's just a lot going on. So this is going to be our last show before we take a little hiatus. We're going to take the full month of July off. We all know that next weekend is July 4th. So we would have been off anyway. So why not? Let everybody kind of get the summer fully soaked in. And hopefully we'll come back in August and have something cool for you guys. But at the meantime, we're going to do tonight's show and take a little break. Give us all a chance to get acclimated, especially for people like me who hates the summer. Now, what are we talking about tonight? Let's pop this thing off. So before I disclose it, let me disclose the topic first, and I'll tell you why. We're going to talk about 11 relationship roles men are quietly walking away from. And that's why I truly hope Sherry and Hannah at least pops in. I hope we see a couple of super fans because as always, anytime we're talking things about men, the most valuable opinions sometimes in the room are women, because I would love to know what you guys think. But how this topic came up was that me and Tasha was having a brief conversation earlier today, and I shared something with her that I never thought I would get to a point at this stage of my life. If you had told me just 5 years ago that I would be completely at a loss for what I'm looking for, I would have told you you're crazy. And Brother Kenny knows this from me being on TFG Tonight with Brenton Haynes. Right now, I'm on a whole hiatus, that I am in this period where, I'm in a hoasis. That's what we said, where
Hocation, rather. Hocation.
Yeah, hocation, all the above, where I am just overwhelmed and disgusted with what I see. So, Kenny, as we get into this topic, I want to ask a question, and you as well, Tasha, and talk and having conversations. Kenny, do you find for yourself, and generally speaking, and Craig, I would love to hear your opinion as well, that men are in a place now where we have backed away, and in many cases are walking away from the whole relationship thing. Is it just me, or what's your experience with this, Kenny, personally, and from guys you talk to? And Tasha, I would like to know your opinion as well.
This is a great topic because I think you posted something, Lee. I think it's that Pop That Balloon series where the
Yes.
the woman with the
Yes.
short with the natural hair, and the brother
Yes.
was basically
I don't know
just
if you
telling
guys saw this.
his preference, and she just kind of went in on him. I think that's kind of where we are as single black men, and that's kind of how we are with relationships right now. I think we kind of like it's not even worth the trouble right now because it just seems like women they just find a way to just to make us just to dog us, or you know, just to go at us for no reason. And I see that in general on social media and a lot of groups. I see a lot of men are just saying, you know what, I'm cool by myself, man. I ain't even got time for all this trying to just fighting back and forth. So it's unfortunate, but it is where we are. You know, now personally, I'm like you, Black. I desire a companionship in a relationship that could talk sometime maybe lead to a marriage again.
Right.
But the frustrating part about that, the whole trying to date women, it's kind of like goddamn, you got to know how to figure out algebraic equations because you put through so many damn loops. You told what you can do, what you can't do. Don't do this. Don't be in my inbox. I don't want to do that. I don't do the cheese fake. I mean, it's just a whole lot of dumb rules and stuff. So it's kind of made it frustrating.
I'm looking at
for a lot of single
in Hunter's face because I know they got the barrel. And ladies, but just before y'all go, I want to bring you up to speed if you haven't seen this on my page.
Yeah, I'm late. I don't know what's happening. And hey, y'all.
Hey, what's up, Hunter? We miss you, baby.
We're coming right now.
You came in perfect time. The topic tonight is 11 relationship roles men are quietly walking away from. And I was just saying that I never thought I would be in this position where I can't even tell you right now what I'm looking for. I'm disgusted with the whole twerking nature. Tasha, I can't even reach your face here now, but I know you gonna have some shit to say. But oh, good. So Tasha says she high. But if you haven't seen this, I posted something.
Wait a minute, did Tasha say she high?
She's high.
I'm high. That's our face. I
thought you said you was high.
That's what I thought she said too. Okay, well, so real quick, we all familiar with the Pop the Balloon scenario, how that works, and I posted it on my page because it talks to this topic where a guy and there's a bunch of women, and it's a short clip. Basically, they get to the one woman, and he says, "Well, why did you pop a balloon?" He says, "Because I like women with long hair." And another lady popped the balloon, and she was a nice looking lady. Let me be fair, nice looking chick. But she went in on him about he didn't have the right as a black man to speak on women's hair and this, that, and the other because she owned a salon, her and her mother. And I posted, I love how he handled it. He never lost his control, his composure. He just simply said, you know, hey, I'm here to find somebody, and maybe I triggered you or whatever. But she read him, and you can move on, and this, that, and the other. And I simply posted, and you wonder why she's alone. So, as Kenny just said, this is my fellow Capricornian brother. He says the same thing. We're just at a place where we don't know where to fit in. Craig says it's true. I think men don't know where we fit in when it comes to relationships. And I want to ask you ladies, what are you seeing? Toria, how you doing? Superfan says hello, family. And she says hello. Hey, Toria. Hey, Tana. So again, there's my brother. Brother Bert, he's in here as well. Tasha, I want to. What do you think?
I saw that clip. I mean, I understood like both sides of like how it was approached, you know. But I think that there is, for the longest time now, I think we've been saying all the same thing, that there is a disconnect.
Yeah.
And I blame social media, a big, huge part of social media, for the demise of relationships because of the stock that people place sometimes into certain behaviors or certain things that they don't like because maybe it's just like an insecurity in them. So then it's easy to blame an entire group of individuals based off of your own independent bad experiences. I think, yeah, a lot of men are probably bowing out and just preferring now to either be alone or to do things more casually, more readily, because entering into something more serious, you not only have to deal with the person that you're with, you have to put in, you have to deal with whoever her board of directors is, if it's her friends, if it is social media,
Oh, I love
if
how
it's
you
her
put that.
family. So you have a lot of input, because the smallest thing, the smallest infraction, now you got a meeting going on, and it's
Wow.
constantly, oh, you're being gaslit, or
Wow.
it's a
Wow.
narcissist,
Yep,
things like that.
that's true.
So
Yeah,
I do think it's same thing for women, who are also
Right.
opting just to be single as well. But this
I
is
agree
just
with that.
for this topic. Yeah, a lot of men are just saying, like, I'm just out of it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. So
Great point that women are experiencing that same migration out of relationships, out of getting married, out of having kids. And for the purpose of this conversation, I want to make sure I get y'all input. And I'm so glad I got the postings on here, because y'all have weathered that singlehood and found each other. But I'm sure you have friends that are single, and on top of that, what are you seeing, when it comes to this? Or friends you talk to, Brother Bird in particular, or conversations you're having, Sister Hannah, are you guys seeing the same thing? And what do you think about this migration that men are saying, you know what, I'm just going to walk away?
I'm going to agree with a part of Tasha said about the social media. I feel like a lot of people base their relationships nowadays off what they see online. And when you base what you see online, which a lot of it is facade, you can't have a better relationship offline. Like, you'll see one thing, and they'll take it and make a whole spectacle about one topic, and then the men and women are warring against each other because, first of all, nobody's courting each other anymore. They're just fast.
Very true.
Where I'm eating, what I'm doing. And relationships didn't used to be like that. Like, the fact that people are upset over a coffee date is crazy, because you don't even know this person. So why am I dropping hundreds of dollars on you and I don't even know your middle name? I don't even know nothing about you except for what I saw when I met you or your outside appearance. So I think social media has been a lot of detriment to a lot of relationships. I saw a post the other day. The girl said, I'm so happy my husband and I are finally getting married after 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And people were cussing her out. Meanwhile, they were in high school.
Mm.
So y'all don't even know the fact that y'all were just going in,
right,
to do better in life and this and that. And then when she put her age, and they were like, "Oh, well, y'all were in high school stuff." Like,
right.
Business. They just want to be so negative. So I feel like a lot of things work if you keep your relationships offline as well, because it's men and women have a disconnect, and I feel like women sometimes, and I'm a woman and I want things, but sometimes what some of these women want nowadays is ridiculous. And I feel like some things that men are requiring doesn't make sense either. But I feel like if they had a better conversation with each other versus everyone else, it would be handled a little different.
I love it. Brother Bert, Toria says we're having bad storms internet. We got a little something happening too, so I understand if you guys have to pop in and out, but thank you for joining, Toria. Brother Bert, what do you say on this topic that men are walking away quietly? And there's the operative word too I want to focus on, but go ahead, Brother Bert.
What group is this question for? Like, what ethnic group?
I think it's just men and men.
Yeah,
men
they're talking about men in general, but of course I'm always going to, but I love your question now, and I want to know why you specifically wanted to know in compartmentalize. I can't wait to hear this.
Because the circles that I'm in, and for people who don't look like me, I don't really hear them saying that about their women.
Wow.
That's why I asked that question. I don't hear an Asian guy, because there's a lot of young Asian guys in my job, and they don't complain about who they dating, who not dating, the whole night. Now, granted, it could be just them, but I was asking because of the fact that I don't hear a lot of other folks saying that. Now, I do hear a lot of my people saying I can't deal with this and I can't deal with that, and they are relying a little too heavily on social media and seeing what people are, what everybody's saying about each other. I just I never got it. And my question to them was always, can you think for yourself? And do you have any good examples of somebody being in a good relationship? And some of them will say, like, yeah, maybe their grandparents. Right. Some might say their mom or dad or whatever the case might be. But for some reason, they're saying that it's just not for them because of what they're seeing on social media as far as what possibly a woman might want, where they might be at the far end of the spectrum as far as what they require of a man, or vice versa. If you see a man out there and he's requiring so much of a woman, it seems like nobody's really seeing, like, where's the balance at? Okay. Nobody seems balanced anymore as far as or understanding really what a relationship is all about. And I'm talking about, listen, I was single for a minute, but at the end of the day, you gotta know the balance. You gotta know that some folks will act a certain way and some of them won't. And sometimes some people might act a certain way because you never know what's going on in their life at the time. You know, so like this might a bad, like I saw a post one time where somebody, I forgot what it was, but it was whatever the one was, this guy posted it, whatever, and then all of a sudden all these guys was like, yeah, that's why I don't deal with them hoes and blah 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 blah. I'm like, that was just one person. How you basing all off of that?
Right, off that person experience.
So here's what I want us to do. We're gonna, for purpose of this conversation, we're gonna speak about the group we're a part of, because you know, I'm not privy to speaking to I work in professional arena, but I keep my professional life completely separate from my personal. So I may have to lean on you, Brother Bert, because you have those connections, and maybe you too, Kenny. But I want to focus on some of the expected roles, and we're going to see if we agree with if these are reasons, possibly though, why men are walking away. And as always, I tell people, I haven't looked through these. I send myself these topics, and then I pop them in, and I'm going to be reading them for the first time with you guys. And I want to see if I see myself in here, because I know I've walked away, and I know the reasons why, and I want to see if it speaks to that. So we're going to examine 11 reasons when it comes to relationship roles, and that's the key, that what drew me to this article, because we know that, I would say for me, one of the main reasons, I want to see if it addresses this, I'm a traditionalist. I'm still yearning for a traditional relationship, and that's where, for me, the goalpost has moved. So I'm going to read these to see, as they talk about these roles, is the reason why some of these is why I walked away, because I am a toxic male, and I'm probably going to die one. I have my own toxic level of masculinity and those defined roles of how I think a relationship, and maybe that's probably what's keeping me. So let's talk about the very first one, and as a relationship role, as to why many men are saying that they walked away. This one is called the sole provider, and I'm going to read just tidbits from each one, because again, I have not read these. It says, for generations, men were expected to be the primary breadwinners. Today, many men are rejecting the pressure to shoulder all financial responsibility. Dual income households are now the norm, and men are embracing partnerships where both contribute. What are you guys, where do you stand on this? Because this is a huge one. Sherry has popped in watching, because
what's up, Sherry?
To the point y'all made, social media would have us believe that the man is responsible for paying for everything, you know, and maybe you feel as a traditionalist that you should pay for the dates. And Hunter, you made a great point about why would I spend $200-$300 and I don't know your fucking middle name? You know, and for social media, for a lot of women that I hear, and I'm talking about my own personal experience, they do believe that the man should, if you're the man, you should take care of everything. Where do you guys stand on this?
I'll go. I feel like every household is different. I feel like everybody's income is different. You can work in the same workplace and not make the same amount.
Okay.
So, yes, I'm traditional. I do feel like nowadays it's hard if you say unless that person is making six figures or more, expecting a man to do every single thing, depending on how big your household is, I feel like it's not reasonable nowadays. Mm-hmm. But I do feel like if you do have a tradition, if you do have a household, the man should pay majority, if not everything, but majority.
Okay. I'm loving it. I love your honesty.
Majority of the responsibilities. But wow. I know if they can't afford it,
okay,
then as a person who's supposed to be your partner and your helpmate, you should be able to come to them and tell them, I can't afford it. You'll work out a plan. If you have to go 50-50, you have to go 50-50. It's not going to make or break you. But if you are going 50-50, you don't have to announce it to the world and belittle your partner either. So I'm
curious. So I'm curious, under your thinking, mm-hmm. Let's assume for sake of argument that both partners are making a great income. Mm-hmm. You still feel, though, that the primary responsibility financially, you're laughing, you're smiling, should be with the man.
I didn't say every bill. I said
no. I'm just.
No, you said the majority.
I said majority.
That's what I heard.
I just want to. Yeah.
I did, but I said
no.
But if they can handle it.
And that's what I'm saying. For purposes of this conversation, both parties can equally, they might make great salaries. I'm just curious as to your philosophy. Do you believe the primary responsibility should fall on the man to be to take care of all of the financial bills of it?
Not all. Most.
Majority.
Okay.
I never said all.
We hear you.
No. We know you did. We know you.
You did. That's just me.
No. That's why I love you.
Hey, that's
you winning. You winning. Your breadwinner is right there. You winning
already. Sure. Yeah, he is right there.
He's right. He's right
to
there.
your left. You good.
So, Brother Bert, you want to hear what Sister Tasha has to say first?
What you saying?
I said, do you want to hear what Lady Tasha has to say first before you speak on this?
Yeah, sure.
Tasha, where do you stand on this?
I don't know. Honestly, to me, it's whatever works for you. It's whatever that conversation that you have with that person. What does that look like? When are you having that conversation with someone? When you're combining households, or are you doing it prior to dating? Like, what does that conversation look like? I think that's something that you two should have to decide on together, honestly. Okay. So that way, like, okay, yes, you're going to be the sole provider. Perfect. I'm going to quit my fucking job immediately. So, kind of, but I mean, it's not then.
No, okay. I'm loving it. But all things being equal, do you have a philosophy one way or another that if both can pay, do you feel like the man should be the sole provider? Okay. No. Okay. Mm-hmm. Craig says the average American earns $42,000 per year. The chances of a man being the sole provider is slim, but this is another one of those lies that social media have told women. You make such a brilliant point, but I love that.
42 is the average?
I'm sorry?
42,000 is average?
The American average.
I did not know that.
Yeah, American. That's pretty much
accurate. That's skewed when you start breaking down the demographics.
Yeah, but wow, that's low for this economy. What?
But that's accurate. But that's a whole nother conversation. The average American's income is below our that's a whole nother conversation. that's a whole nother conversation. But brothers, so what do you think about this? Because again, in the context of this is a reason why many men are quietly walking away because of this. What do you think?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bird.
Go ahead.
No, you got it, Bird.
Okay.
No, you I'll let you go first, brother.
All right. I agree with a lot of points that the ladies were making. And it is true that you got to have that conversation with that person.
Okay.
Because, for different demographics, you might have an older crowd who come from a certain era where that's incumbent of a man to do so.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then you got some of the guys from right now or a little younger and all who might look at it a little bit differently. You also got to look at and I know you said that's probably this can branch off so many different areas, but you got women who are really doing well for themselves now.
Right.
Better than men.
Right.
And that's a fact. Smarter, going to school,
right.
doing the thing. So that now the conversation has to be had more now than ever. Back in the day, you could kind of assume that the man going to take care of everything because of where things were at that time. But now, I mean, women they're doing it. So now you got to have that conversation because, women are earning a bigger pay now.
Mm-hmm.
So it might where a man can't. So you got to have that talk and say, hey, listen, what can be done, what can't be, and you got some women out there that's so thorough where they could be making a ton of money, but they will still leave it up to the man. Like, what can you handle? So it won't make it seem like they're trying to crush their ego or trying to be funny or something like that, allowing them to try to be a man, so to speak, and see what they can handle and where they can, like you said, help meet, where you can go ahead and help meet the rest of the needs if necessary.
Okay. Brother Kenny, you and I, we're single. Is this a valid reason for men to walk away because of that expected pressure to be the sole provider?
I don't know if I would say it's a valid reason, but I would say that it's a reason that I understand. Because some of the expectations that comes with being a sole provider, and we talking about this, and this is Men's Mental Health Month, by the way. And when you think about being a sole provider, being the two P's that women say they look for, a provider and a protector, that's a lot of stress and a lot of heavy weight on a brother.
Yeah.
So when you think about that, if you're a good, hardworking blue collar man, and you making an average salary $42,000, and then the woman that you pick ain't really trying, she ain't really trying to help you on that end. All you pretty much doing is working to pay bills and dying. The two things that's gonna help you. That's what's gonna work. You working to pay bills and you're gonna be 6 feet under. So I don't think that's attractive to any man at all. Okay. So when you talk about this, I think, again, the ladies, y'all hit some great points. Bird did too. I think this is a conversation that has to be had prior to making a big commitment. Make sure you're on the same page. Make sure we running the same plays. So, because if you're not, this is definitely a deterrent for a lot of men now for not wanting to be in a relationship.
Okay, let me read Sherry's thoughts because y'all knew this was coming. She says, I feel the man should pay all the bills, even if I'm working. His money is our money, and my money is my money. My husband lets me have it like that. That's why she's saying he's a keeper.
If your sister was single, Brother Black, I would not talk to you. Hey, Sherry, I love you to death, Sherry, but me and you would not be having no time. And I'm sure you would say the same about me, but I ain't messing with you. No, ma'am.
You already know.
Hey, Black.
You and your damn daughter.
No, ma'am.
And I'm saying that with love, Go ahead, Bird. I'm sorry.
You know that in what she wrote, she said he lets me.
Ooh, nice catch.
Oh,
lets me.
Yeah,
nice catch.
Yeah, lets me have it like
nice
that.
Catch.
Yeah. So
nice
he cool with it. Yeah.
So he cool with it.
So long as if he cool with it, yeah. I ain't knocking it. Yeah.
Great catch.
Yeah.
So can I say this one?
Okay.
Can I say this? And correct me if I'm wrong, Hannah. Just correct me. I think it would be fair to say for a lot of women that if you would keep them at what, like if I'm currently here with my lifestyle solely, like single by myself,
Right,
I'm
right,
here. This is the bare minimum for me. This is
right,
where I am right. That's the bare minimum.
right.
So like for us to be together, it can never go below that. Never.
Gotcha.
I agree with you
And you
I,
right.
1000%.
get that. I
And
get
you
I
that.
agree,
right.
Tasha. So I agree
I
with you
get that.
1000%.
I get that.
You,
That makes sense
Tasha,
to
you get
me.
no argument out of me
Me
because
either.
You can maintain
if that
single.
man is not going to be an asset and he turns
Yeah,
into a
he's a
liability,
liability. Yeah.
Tasha, I agree with you 1000%.
I'm with you when you're right.
You speaking, you dropping gold there. Craig says, Sherry, that opens the door to men saying they expect a woman. Woo,
Yeah,
they
that's
expect
right.
a woman
You're
to
right.
cook and clean and take care of the kids, but women today ain't going for that. So Craig makes a
Already.
valid point, but I'm not even gonna go there because
Sure
we got
do.
so many more to get to.
Well, I mean, if you home all day, you ain't paying no bills. Cook a meal. But
I'm glad to hear you say that, but of course, many would have you believe that you're supposed to pay the bills and they still need to be fed out, this, that, and other. And so for me, this is not only a valid reason to walk away. It's ironically, it's probably the main reason why I'm single. I share this with Tasha and the family. I realize I can't afford today's woman. That's why, again, I'm going back to where I say I'm looking for a traditional. And Tasha makes a great point. I want to speak to that because I feel the same way, Tasha, as a man. I'm doing okay on my own anyway. So I can't see a need to take on a woman and take on that financial responsibility, and my quality of life dips and drops because the old expression, I can do bad by myself. And we know, let's be realistic, that I'm 57 years old. So in the age group I'm looking for, the woman is more than likely to have children or grandchildren and a lifestyle that I realize I can't afford to be the sole provider. I get that y'all want to look nice. I know I can't afford to get your fucking hair done every week and get your nails done and your toes done. I'm still looking for that woman that sits down at night and rolls her own hair and puts her piglies up and paints her own damn toenails. Don't get me wrong. Every now and then you can go out and get these things done, but I can't afford to foot the bill and make sure you have all of those things that you think and believe are important. That's fine. And to Tasha's point, if you're doing all those things for yourself anyway, you have no reason to expect to not still have them done. I can't do it. And so this for me is a real reason why for me I have quietly walked away from pursuing, because I realize I still believe in cooking at home and being frugal with my money and spending it on something different than maybe what that woman is accustomed to. And so I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm being so serious. Sherry says, Craig, cooking and cleaning is a must. That's why I've been married for good. So at least I'm glad she acknowledging that, and I can speak for the record. We were raised so she cooks, cleans, and takes care of the house. So that part is true. I can attest for her husband. Now he don't want for nothing. So that's where that, to your point, they've obviously that it works for them. And Hannah, you're right. It works. It's a different. You have to find that person that it works for. But I'm still old fashioned. This is a very big reason for me where, yeah, it has been a quiet step away because I don't think I know how to fit into this new paradigm of being the sole provider. And fundamentally, if we both can carry the load, I think in today's relationship, it takes two people income wise to force both to get where we're trying to go. That's my belief.
True.
So that's why I know we could spend a lot of time. Let's go to number 2, the emotional stoic. The strong silent type is faded fast. Men are increasingly prioritizing emotional openness and vulnerability in their relationships. Bottling up feelings is no longer seen as a virtue. Instead, men are seeking partners who value honest communication and emotional support. This change leads to deeper connections and healthier mental health for everyone involved. I can't wait to hear what my brother Kenny said, because he always talks about finding somebody that gets him. What do you guys think about this as a reason why men are walking away, because they are now prioritizing wanting to be more open and vulnerable? But Craig says, talking about Sherry, she said, I love that, but you're not the modern woman we see today. Craig, valid point.
Hey, Brother Black, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you read that. Could you read it again?
Absolutely. Okay. The second one is the emotional stoic. It says the strong, silent type is fading fast. Men are increasingly prioritizing emotional openness and vulnerability in their relationships. Bottling up feelings is no longer seen as a virtue. Instead, men are seeking partners who value honest communication and emotional support. This change leads to deeper connections and healthier mental health for everyone involved. So again, as a reason why men are walking away, is it says that because they're now prioritizing a relationship where they don't have to be that strong silent type and keep all the feelings in. What do you guys think about this?
I would say this. I definitely agree with that, but I also know that there's the conversations that I see with women. Go ahead.
What you gonna say? Go there. Because I think you're going where I think we're going.
They say that a lot of men now are too emotional. They too sassy. I think that's the new word they say. We got too many sassy men. When all a man is really wanting to do is express himself. But you got women out here saying that's not attractive. So now, again, as I said at the beginning of the show, and Craig said this, we don't know where the hell we fit in. Some women, y'all say
tell us on PFD with Brenton Haynes. Remember that conversation?
Yes, I know. Exactly.
Oh, you can share your feelings, but
for about 30 seconds, but after that, I don't really give a shit. That's basically what she said.
Literally what she said. She gave you a window that
right.
I'll let you whine for an hour. So, and after that,
no, it wasn't even no hour.
Shut your bitch ass.
Right.
Anybody, go ahead. Please.
There is a dual message out there for women, that for a lot of single women that are spouting that they do want men who are more emotionally intelligent and more in touch with their feelings and everything, and in tune like with a woman's emotions and everything. But on the other part of it, when certain questions are posed, when certain topics are asked, when they express any sort of, well, I don't agree with that, I'm not going to do that. Right. You do get that quick message back that, oh, so you sassy. Well, who's going to be the girls? You get that kind of message back.
I see it.
Right.
I see it all the time.
It's not right. I know it's not right, because I find myself as a woman sometimes going from post to post, and I'm like, damn, bitch, what do you want? Because this one says she wants this one says she wants that. I'm confused. So it's like I get why this would be a reason to kind of be like, well, hell, I don't know how you want me to act, so I just won't act at all. So,
right.
Hannah, Bert?
I'll go. So I think it's a difference between a man being emotionally available and some of these new age men of a certain age are acting like women. This is what it is. Not all. And it's a certain age. Every age group is different.
Right.
I saw a post of a woman just told a man, I'm going to get my nails and feet done. And he was like, oh, me too. Like, okay, that's cool, but you ain't got to tell me that. Like, it's cool. But like, okay, like, why? But it is what it is. Not saying you shouldn't get it done, but I don't want you at the nail salon with me. We just met. Like, come on.
Damn.
We just met though. Like, this is my private.
No, and I don't disagree with you, but I hear you.
But now if I know you, cool. But I feel like the different age groups, some of the men some of the men at a certain age group no longer want to take the role as being a man, and they're addressing as want to be emotionally available. Yes, share your feelings. Yes, open up. Because I feel like a man should be able to talk to you and you don't belittle him. That's unnecessary. And I also feel like it's a way to talk without sounding, we're still keeping the characters of being a man, if y'all understand what I'm saying.
I understand.
So it's also how you put it out there. And then some of these women are crazy because everything is not sassy. Somebody said I saw a man drinking Starbucks and he's sassy. Like, dang, I can't have coffee. Like, what's wrong with
right?
You? Like,
I
so
know, right?
some people, some of these women are just crazy as hell. I'm just gonna put it out there. Some of them crazy, delusional, and need to be by themselves or talking to somebody on somebody's couch. However, some of these men nowadays, depending on the age, I'm not talking about y'all aging up or our age. I'm talking about some of them no longer act like they want to be the man. They act like we shouldn't be wearing the same pants and shopping at the same stores and going together. So I feel like nowadays they try to wrap it up as, oh, I just want to be emotionally available and tap into my feelings. But no, you want to be me too. So I just feel like it depends on the age demographic, if that makes sense.
Before you go, Brother Bert, Craig says, a man has to be able to be vulnerable with their woman in order to handle their woman in the right way. A man can't be hard 24 hours a day.
I totally agree with that, Craig. You hit it out the park. Yeah. Okay. That's totally, I agree with
Bert,
that.
Anything?
Yeah, what everybody's saying thus far is correct. As far as for a man being vulnerable and all, I think that has to be saved until you really know that person. I'm talking about from a man's point of view. We're I understand want to be emotional. You want to be out there. You want to let them know what's going on with you all the time or whatever. But sometimes it could come to a point, especially to a woman, where it sounds whiny. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's good that men be in the company, have good friends, have a good support group. Because to tell you the truth, a lot of times, and just like it's vice versa as well. So I'm not putting this all on the ladies. Sometimes a woman won't understand truly what a man is going through. Because a lot of times we can't even express that fully ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Without coming off sounding a little bit whiny or whatever, or something like that. So I just think that you gotta really know the person that you're with. And I think you expose yourself little by little over time, depending on how much, knowing what that person can handle. And if you're really looking for that person that can truly understand or try to put themselves in the other shoe, then go ahead. But as a man, for me, I don't care what era I'm from. I'm still working on that. Like, I could say a lot of things to Hannah, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of things it's just hard for me to say because it's really come from a deep spot as a man. So I got the brothers
you keeping
in my life that kind of keep me straight and that kind of keep me.
I miss y'all too.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can't, because you're not. I'm not going to understand everything that a woman goes through.
Let me tell you something, Bert.
Goes through that she could talk to me about, but I might not truly understand because I'm a man.
Let me tell you something, my brother. I miss you because you for me, Bert, you knocked it out the park for me personally, because I agree with every last word you just said, and I love how you put it that it takes time. I am an emotional stoic with that for those reasons. I am old school masculine, and so there's very few things feminine about me. Probably only the most feminine thing about me is I pee sitting down. Yes, I do.
Wait, what? Wait.
You know,
really, you just said that, bro.
At this age, a trip turns into a drop. So fuck that. But anyway.
What?
I'm just saying. Like,
he thought it was a safe space, so apparently,
right.
And I'm not feminine in any way. Yeah. Look at Bird. Bird is over there like, look. Okay,
I didn't know he was going to say that.
He was trying to be vulnerable, you guys.
Oh, right, right.
And here is a classic example.
Perfect example. Right, you're right.
That
Yeah,
I'm,
we
that I'm,
did.
thank you.
Right.
So here's a classic example that I have come to know y'all long enough to trust y'all enough that y'all gonna see me as being me. But to Bert's point, Craig, your point in theory is 1000% correct. But to Bert's point, for me, is that I know that takes time.
Yeah.
Because to think that it's okay, in this statement, it says, bottling up feelings, a man is seeking partners who value honest communication. No, you don't. Not till I've earned that from you.
Right.
Not till I've earned that from you.
Right.
Because to Bert's point, for me being vulnerable and saying something to you, I can't have that woman looking upside my head like agreeing in one hand and then, girl, this motherfucker told me this last night.
Right, right.
So
yeah.
Here's the reason. Tasha's laughing. But
No,
here's
you're
the
right.
reason why. Here's the reason why that I have always had best friend that's women, because believe it or not, there are things that I can go to her about to get her perspective as a woman. That I'm I've always been that when I was married, I had girlfriends, because there was things that until I've earned that trust, to Bert's point, I can't say. And you lying down with each other in those quiet moments, and you go to blurting out some shit that I'm gonna be vulnerable with you, and next thing you know, she ended it, and you don't even know what the fuck the reason why. And I have real examples of this. I'm sitting around with these two bitches one night, and they talking about their tattoos and this and that, and how they like to be this, that, and the other. And me and the other guy, we being gentlemen and shit, and that's pretty cool. These two bitches get up and leave, and we don't know why. We trying to share our and it comes back. Well, why did you leave? You two motherfuckers didn't know what y'all was doing. They wanted us to snatch them those two drawers off and take that pussy right there. So
so y'all were too nice.
We was too fucking nice. And to Bert's point, I feel like I would have to earn that woman's trust enough before I'm even comfortable. And I would expect her to do the same.
I don't know how your day is.
And that's why when I ask, I want good questions.
Say that loud again, Hannah. Did you hear what Hannah said?
Oh, what you say?
I heard you. Say it again.
I don't know how your day is. Because damn,
you know what I'm saying?
Like what?
Jenny from the block is in the house, and that's my baby girl from living Memphis.
What's up, Jenny?
I
heard you. I heard you. Yeah.
And for that reason, and again, I've had male friends, and because there are things, to Bert's point, that I don't know if you're gonna fully understand, and as things that I may never understand from your perspective as a woman. So that's why it's important that you keep either a good gay friend, or if you're going to have a good friend, don't have that chatty bitch that I'll have to choke out. But I'm just saying. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Conversation is quickly getting away from us.
It's supposed to get real, right?
Let's stay on track.
What's going on?
I know, right?
Okay. So I'm gonna go to the next one.
Somebody sitting down and paying, and two women.
Yeah,
what's going on here?
Yeah, then I was thinking about the damn bucket he always talk about. The bucket. I'm like, good Lord, from the bucket to sit down
in the middle of the night. I am not getting my fat ass up as many times as I have to pee through the course of the night to traipse all the way through the bathroom. But when I pee, I sit down because sometimes a pee turns into a shit too. So
I'm about to give Brother Black a t-shirt with the bucket on it. I'm going to give a t-shirt with the bucket.
You gotta chill.
I've been knowing y'all for years now. Y'all, I trust y'all. Getting some late to the party, obviously. Yeah. Jenny, we are talking about 11 reasons why men are quietly walking away from relationships, and you're right in time for, believe it or not, we only on number 3.
And women should be watching this, bro. Should be watching this. Yes, a lot of women should be watching.
Oh man,
this,
The fixer, folks. What is the fixer? Men have long been cast as the ones who must solve every problem, big or small. Now, many men are stepping back from this fixer mentality. Instead of rushing to offer solutions, they learn to listen, empathize, and support their partners without taking over. Where you guys stand on this being the fixer, again, as a reason why many men are saying they're walking away, because that expectation has been there to fix every problem, both big and small.
Oh, so you guys do listen. Okay. So you do.
What?
It's taken this long. I'm
What?
just saying it's taken this long to finally, for guys to finally to get that, because sometimes, yeah, I don't need a solution. I just want you to listen. Even if you think I'm wrong, just fucking agree with me in that moment. Okay. Just please just validate what I'm saying to you. Just understand. So, but I get it.
I'm so glad Tasha went first, because, and she's telling 1000% the truth, and I know she means that shit. But Tasha, you're an anomaly, baby. Tasha, you are so self-sufficient, and I think you don't like help, even if it's offered. Am I wrong?
Just tell me, I'll just do it myself.
Okay. That's why I wanted you guys. So she's, but I love where she started, because she's right. I'm hope that this is a good one that men need to. You keep, and I'm gonna keep my opinion. What do you guys say?
You want to go again?
I'm still thinking on this. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this. Y'all never had to be the complete. To me, I feel like y'all never had to be the complete fixer. I feel like sometimes some men think that they just had to fix everything instead of just coming and bringing a solution. Because I am man, hear me roar. Ooh. I don't have to come to her and ask her for something. But sometimes I don't want you to fix nothing for me. Like, I might have a solution. But if you're not going to sit down and listen to it, then I'm not going to open my mouth and tell you about it. So you just handle it on your own, and I'll handle it on my own. And if it crash and burn, then come back and I'll help you fix it. So I do feel like I'm not talking about you, babe. But prior to birth, I was like, after I got divorced, I can do everything by myself. I don't need a daggone thing. Like, that was me. Like. So I think sometimes I do still have that mentality. I'm learning. I do have that mentality, but I do feel like I don't think that it was that women was telling men to fix everything. I feel like sometimes the ego allows the man to think that they have to do it on their own instead of coming to a woman. So now we're at a space where men realize that my health can't take this. That's why women were outliving women. My health can't take this. My mind and mental can't take this. So now let me actually stop trying to have my ego lead the way and come to the woman and see, can we talk about it? So I don't think that a woman always, it is some women, and some women do everything. However, I don't feel like that's most women. I feel like some women do, depending on your relationship, want you to do come to them. But if you don't come and you want to take it on all your own, then we can't stop you. So that's just, you're going to have to deal with it until you learn how to communicate.
I love a lot of the points you made. Bert, Kenny?
Keyword, communicate.
Go ahead, Bert.
Go ahead, Kenny. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Let me say this. I think I agree with what Tasha said at the beginning, and I'm gonna say this from this is asking about men being the fixers. I think that falls under the umbrella of being a provider and protector, and I think when you think about the traditional man, and I'm talking about our age group, I'm kind of talking about me and Bert and you, Black. I think in our age group, I think that's kind of in our DNA. We feel like we have to be provider, protector, and the fixer. If our woman come to us with a problem, no matter if it's with some chick on the job, getting on her freaking nerves, and she want to smash her out, we gotta, we gotta talk her off that ledge and say, well, baby, I need. So I think as a man coming from our generation, I think we do feel like that's part of our job is to be the fixer and come up with a solution, even if the solution may not make sense. So I think that's a part of the pressure that I said earlier about being a man in this if you want to be in a relationship, do I really want that pressure of trying to be a fixer, provider, protector, and pay all the bills, and then die, and then somebody singing over me at my damn funeral? That's why I think a lot of men are saying like, or lying over me. One of the two. It's gonna be one of them. So I think that's why a lot of men are saying like, you know what? I don't know if I'm really ready to step to those roles when it comes to relationships.
Brother Bert's going to talk about the keyword communication. I want to hear your point. Craig says, I agree with Tasha. I've learned from previous relationships that women don't want men to fix their problems. They want men to sympathize and put yourself in her shoes. And he also says, now, women do want you to fix things that break down in the house.
Do.
Okay.
Damn,
Brother Bert?
Break down in the house?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Brother Bert?
I ain't fixing nothing up in here.
Again, it's communication. And you know what? Ladies, please don't take this the wrong way, but I think y'all know what I'm coming from when I say it. Y'all are complicated as hell.
Woo!
I'll give you that.
Woo!
You already know.
And
woo!
Whether a co-worker, whether friend, whether wife, whether family, they all say it. We are complicated. Sometimes we are out our minds. Sometimes we don't even make sense to ourselves. And then as a man, of course, and if we love them or we love you, then of course we're going to try to be a problem solver and a fixer, because we're just trying to understand where you're coming from and trying to be sympathetic and empathetic towards you. So it seems like sometimes it's a dual-edged sword, and sometimes it kind of go both ways, because sometimes it could be like, oh, child, he listens to me the whole night, and then he think he know everything, and blah, 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 blah. Well, wait a minute. I was trying to help you out. I was trying to balance some things off, and I was trying to put myself in your shoes, but that's not what you wanted. I didn't understand it. I didn't see the signs. And it happens through time with a lot of men. It happened for me too, because sometimes I was like, I ain't saying nothing no more. I ain't asking you nothing. I'm just whatever. That's all you. I just had to realize once I started hearing women saying, look, that's why half the time we can't hardly be friends with each other. That's why we only have a few select friends, because, sometimes we be in our BS moment. That's right. You can look at me,
I said not too long ago. That's why I think a woman should have.
I said through time.
No, what women talking to you at work?
Oh shit.
Oh shit. Okay. Wait a minute. Hey, do we need to take a commercial break? We need a commercial break right now.
We good. Don't pay attention to this.
I'm just kidding. But I said earlier, that's why I do think I'm okay. Some men in a relationship, they think you ought to be everything to that person. I am perfectly okay with a woman having outside friendships for that reason, because of what you just said, Bird and Kenny. It's a balance. It's a delicate balance, because on the one hand, you got women like Tasha. I don't need you to fix it. Agree with me and let me work this shit out. And then, if it don't work out, then we'll talk about it. But let me do it my way, this and that. And then Bert's point, y'all got so many fucking problems that you lay out to us every fucking day, from the minute to the big one, some bitch messing with you on your job, your heel broke, you ain't got no gas in your car, and all kinds of shit is going on. So you have to do this balancing act of know when to stay. It's like double dutch, when do I jump in here and help your ass, or let me just stand back and let you figure this shit out. You know what I'm saying? And so this one, in terms of being a fixer, no, this is a big one, even for me, because I know I can't fix y'all shit, because y'all got way too many problems for me. And I'm a person that I live in, I like to simplify things. And women, y'all make shit so complicated sometimes that, you know, I just have to step away. Now, again, I'm working on myself on that, so this is a good one for me. A lot of comments here. Jenny from the block says, I find that in my current relationship with an honest to goodness old school fixer, I have to remind him that I am capable of formulating a complete thought and able to solve and come up with solutions on my own. I agree with Tasha. However, I sincerely appreciate the fact that he is willing and able. Old dogs can learn new tricks, and the boundaries have been established now and respected. Bravo, sister. Bravo for that. Jenny also says, these new school guys, I don't know. Sherry chimes in and says, most of the time, women already have the solution. Really? They just want to know that the man has a solution and understands the assignment. Really? Okay. Yeah. Jenny says, we are meant to be loved, not understood. Okay.
Yes, Jenny.
Yes. Jenny says, I agree. Communication is key. There's a difference between listening and hearing. Y'all should know about Jenny. Her degree is in criminal justice, so she can argue like a motherfucker.
Yeah, Jenny, that we are meant to be loved, not understood. We will go back and forth on that.
Y'all still confused.
We're not confused. You, like she said, we didn't say understand us. We said love us and listen.
Okay.
I actually agree. I'm agreeing with the ladies on this one.
Love and listen.
We do, but then all of a sudden, then you're like, you don't understand what I'm talking. I'm like, what?
And that's the balancing act that I don't know if I will walk away for this, but men, if you're watching and listening to this, this is classic. Jenny said, supposed to love them, don't, and the very premise of this show is women are from Mars and men are from Mars, women from Venus. I don't understand them. I freely admit that.
We don't understand us sometimes.
Keep the liquor by the so guys.
Sometimes we don't understand
Thank
us.
Thank you.
Keep the liquor by the
y'all don't understand each other.
It's good to hear a woman say that. Yeah. It's good to hear.
And if y'all don't understand each other, what fucking chance do we have?
Y'all don't. Right. Just deal with it.
See?
All right.
Just deal with it.
You married it.
I agree. I agree. What about the disciplinarian? And here, look at Jenny, active listening. She also teaches folks. So now you want to talk to us like we're children, but okay.
Okay. Just nod your head and say you understand.
You see what I'm saying?
What you say, Tasha?
Just nod your head and say you understand. Right.
Yep.
And she's Chris Rock. Some 30 years ago, he talked about this, that when your woman is talking, just nod your head. You're just supposed to set the pins up and let her knock them shits down. And you chime in with those expressions. She did what? And you don't say, really? Yeah. I know she didn't, but don't try to understand. And
I was real good at that right there. I was real good at that. What? No, really?
Kitty, I was not. And Kitty, I was not
real good at that.
You did what?
And I was not. My relationships, they would ask me, "Are you listening to me?" Because my tolerance for how many days you gonna come in and talk about this same shit.
I've always been a good listener. Even if I didn't really want to hear the shit, I would listen. But I'd be like, "Yo, really? Oh, damn, really, baby? Oh man, damn."
Ladies,
leave that trick alone. She tripping.
Get a dog, or get a gay friend. Okay, what about the disciplinarian? In families, men were often expected to be the strict disciplinarians. Today, parenting is becoming more collaborative. Men are moving away from authoritarian roles and embracing nurturing, supportive parenting styles. This shift benefits children who thrive with balance, guidance, and emotional security. Woo! I'm gonna go first on this one. Yes, I am definitely be quietly walking away because I am a firm believer in discipline, and I am not about to be collaborating and supporting with your ugly ass kids with them big chin cutter teeth with all them fucking entitlements and you think I'm gonna step in and feed this motherfucker who feet smelling worse than mine, this little bitch walking around with her ass hanging out and twerking every chance I get, and I'm not gonna put a strap to their ass. So no.
Well, I'm the direct opposite of what y'all just heard Brother Black said, because that Negro is a child abuser. He's going to abuse your child. Do not mess with him. Allegedly. Let me say that. Thank you, brother Bert. Allegedly, I'm gonna say this. Me personally, I'm not. I can speak on my relationship with my children with my ex-wife, be upon her. I wasn't the disciplinarian. She was. I was the one that's gonna be like, I'm gonna sit down, we're gonna talk about it. But she was about trying to, she gonna put them hands on her. And I ain't saying being abusive. Obviously, I'm talking about spankings.
Right.
So I don't want y'all to think my ex-wife she wasn't abusing our children. She was spanked. And I didn't. You can ask any of my grown children. I spanked each one of them maybe once in their life, because that ain't never been my style. So if I'm not gonna deal with a woman that I'm not disciplining their children if they got of age children. That's them. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just like, hey, little Johnny, he handled it, that's on the mama. So that ain't gonna be a reason for me stepping away.
Right.
But the kid's bad as hell though. If she got some badass kids though, this Negro, he trying to light my beard on fire or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm just here for the night. I ain't trying to be your daddy. So I'm not committing to being no disciplinarian. So there you go.
We definitely decided that coin, because I am a disciplinarian, and a woman would have to know me walking in, because Sherry says I didn't let my husband, this is a husband, beat my daughter.
I don't blame Sherry. I don't blame him. I get it. I get it.
Before I get to the posters who have children, McMack, where again, as a relationship reason for men, what do you think about this, about the discipline? And I know I'm on the far end of the spectrum. I acknowledge that.
I mean, for me, this one really doesn't apply, apply for me, but I mean, I get why men would walk away, from that, because there is a shift in parenting now to where it is the alternative. And we are seeing a direct result of that running around here, where maybe you should be knocking a few of them between the washer and the dryer a couple of times a week. Okay. So maybe we're talking too much. Maybe we're evaluating their feelings too much. Maybe we do need to bring it back. So for them to walk away from that role of disciplinarian, somebody's got to be the parent. Somebody has to. But I mean, for me, it wouldn't make a difference for me anyway. I'm not dating anybody with kids. I'm not going to be with anybody who has kids. So it's not something that I'm going to deal with. So.
I hear that.
Wow.
I ain't mad at you.
Wow. I love it. Hannah, Bert, good reason for men to walk away, because where do y'all stand on this subject of discipline?
You said a man walk away because of what, for disciplinary reasons? That's what you're saying?
Yeah. What they're saying is that for a lot of men, where the traditional expectation is they're going to come in and be the disciplinarian, a lot of men are moving towards that trend of being more collaborative. It says they're moving away from that authoritarian because they're embracing this nurturing, supportive, new age parenting style. And I guess it's saying they're walking away from women who want men to be the authoritarian, disciplinarian. See, and that's the bitch I'm looking for. I'm looking for that bitch to say, I need a man to come in here and straighten these motherfuckers out.
Yeah. And I think that if they're if the kids are under your roof, then it's my rules. Now, I can be both. I could be a disciplinary person, or I can talk to you. I'd rather talk to you first.
Right.
But once I get past that, my thing is the twice rule. If I gotta say it twice, it's gonna be an issue after that. And that's not going to scare you. Now, if you're with somebody, you have a blended family,
Right.
course, you gotta let that parent, whether male or female, you gotta let them handle what they're gonna handle, and of course, they gotta set those boundaries as well. And if you already had that conversation as far as like, well, they under our roof, so you know what I mean, there's some things you got to give me that leeway. As long as I ain't getting crazy and trying to throw people out the window and stuff like that, and biting and all that, then you know we're gonna keep everything within reason. But I feel as though as a man, you should be doing that. You know what I mean? You should be a disciplinary. You know, and I don't mean you got to put the paws on them.
Right.
But I mean, there's other ways of going about doing it. But I'm old school. I just believe that no matter if the kids are yours or not, there got to be some type of reverential fear. You know that you want to like. There's rules and guidelines there that you got to go by. You go by when you outside this house.
Right.
You don't do certain things. If you see a cop coming, so guess what? If you come up in here and you act up and you bringing all that smoke, then I want all the smoke. I'm on you.
So, Brother Bird, I got a question for you. I want to know where you stand on this. If you know, from your belief system, if you're a man coming into a situation where that woman has children, where do you stand on the woman setting that rule that these are my kids from another relationship? You don't get to discipline them. And we're not talking about, let's take whipping, spankings off the table, but just discipline, whatever that may look like, taking privileges away, telling them where they can and can't go. So where do you stand in a relationship where the woman says, these are not your children. I'm gonna let his daddy do that. I'm with you, but that's separate and you don't get to discipline my kids.
Thank God I'm not in that situation. But if I'm still seriously, thank God.
And that's why I want to know what
thank God for that. But if I was in that type of situation, we couldn't be together.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm saying
that's what I think this is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if it's that type of situation, because I feel like we all were kids once. Once I see blood in the water, it's a wrap. And if I know you can't really come at me because of what my mom said, and it got to be up to my dad, then guess what? I got a chance that if I do something wrong, by the time my mom gets to my dad, I might have a chance to come up with some type of a story where, you know what I mean? Because dad's not here and not in the mix. He didn't hear the tone of my voice. He didn't hear anything. So I can kind of finesse it a little bit. But if I know that all parties are involved, then guess what? Dad also gave a blessing like, yo, homie, if he get out around or she get around, you know what I mean? You got to do what you got to do. Then, fine. So
he's going to hang him out the window. That's what he's gonna do. He already said it.
But other than that, if I can't say anything, them kids gonna walk all over me. Right.
Sister, where you at on this one?
Can I ask? And I don't want to get too personal because Shahana and Bert, y'all both had kids coming into your marriage, and I really want to know, and probably those that view this, how did y'all navigate that, bringing in children from previous relationships into making y'all union, one?
And you don't have to answer.
I really, I mean, you don't have to give us the whole details, but I really just want to know how did y'all navigate that?
I'll answer that. So I know that Bert had 2 older sons. I have a son and a daughter. They were younger.
Right.
And they had a dad because, I mean, I was married, so I have a dad. However, I always raised my kids, and Bert can attest to this. My kids are very respectful. So first and foremost, I'll be honest, I did not introduce my kids to Bert. Their crazy dad did.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So it wasn't I was hiding my kids, but we were dating. But I'm not.
I get that. No,
he knew I had kids.
I respect that.
Yeah, no, I respect it too. I get it.
But I just I'm not going to expose. Especially I have a daughter. I'm not going to expose.
I respect that.
I get that. I get
around
it.
My daughter, who even though I'm dating you, we see
until you know definitively. I get that.
Yeah. But however, we have boundaries. So Bert, at the end of the day, we got married. So I won't dare to, if we're in this household and your father lives elsewhere. Now my son is 18 now. He think he grown because he going to college.
Right.
However,
congratulations.
Bravo. Bravo. Go.
Yeah.
Great parenting.
That's right.
However, they've always been respectful to Bert. Like they never just now. Kayla tried to, I don't know what happened. Maybe her dad got in her ear one time. She was what, 5?
Yeah, something like that.
And we were on vacation. And she just blurted out, "You're not my dad." And I addressed it immediately. She has never said it again out of her mouth. I don't know where it came from because the way she said it, it didn't sound like her, if that makes sense.
Right.
However, I'm big on respect no matter what. And my kids I ain't going to say they act perfect, but they've always been respectful. And you're going to respect this man in this house because, first of all, he's who's in this house. So if they do something off, and I know the type of man and character he is, I know if he say they did something, they did it. And I'm not going to tell you, don't say nothing to them because I come from a generation. My next door neighbor could have checked me.
Right.
And it is what it is. So I feel like you have to have that conversation prior to, and you have to know your kids. Ain't nobody raising baby kids. So I wouldn't even be with a man like Bert if I had these bad behind kids because I would have had to check them first. If you don't check your kids before you're in a relationship, then somebody else might have to check them. And you might have to deal with it. I'm not saying throw them out the window and kick them. Right. But we had to blend it. And like his kids respect me, my kids respect him.
So here's what I love about your answer, and Kenny, thank you for the question. That's the goal right there. In all seriousness, that's what this is hopefully working towards. That if you are not that biological father, but you set a standard, number one, in how you raise your own children and a level of respect so that whoever comes through that door in your life, so that he never had to go there. You know what I'm saying? And same thing, vice versa with him, with his grown children. This is the woman that's going to be in my life. So, y'all have set the standard so that the respect was there, that it didn't have to go there. But this becomes an issue, this one right here, when it's not just women. I know men who feel the same way, that they will say, I don't want, you know what I'm saying, no woman telling my daughter what to do, she has a mother, blah, blah. So when you set those hard boundaries, that's where this becomes a reason then for a man or a woman to walk away. Because to your point, Bert, how can you not be considered the rule? You two are the parents, and that would go for if I was in a situation for you got to respect her, because if we're running the house, that's where you have to have a unified front, and that's not always the case. And that's for this one. This is a reason why I could see a man or woman walking away, but now where I differ a little bit is that, to Tasha's point, I think we've gone too far on the other end with the whole nurturing shit. You know what I'm saying? And again, I am not advocating I got beat with an extension cord. I'm not advocating that.
I am. And I know a neighborhood they can start in. I am.
I really
no, we're not advocating that.
Stop, Tasha. But I know why Tasha's saying that. Okay, so to Tasha's point, if I come along and these little fuckers is already beyond that point, then you might have to drop a TV on their head. But
whoa. Hey,
for your life in that household. Exactly.
Hey, disclaimer. We do not promote child.
We do not drop.
No, I am not promoting that.
We're not dropping TV.
That's what the fuck I promoted.
I'm just saying, I hope it wouldn't get to that point. But to your point, but that's the thing. It does, Kenny, it doesn't. There are, for my brother, there's many parents that haven't disciplined. And we're not even talking about just beating. There are parents that have instituted no discipline for that child, where they're not even parent. The relationship is friends. I know a situation right now where a 6-year-old doesn't listen to nothing their mom says. And a 6-year-old, and the person says to me, well, what can I do? And can you be proud of me? I didn't say, well, whoop her ass. But what I did say was, you better start now, because at 6, if she's already cursing and talking back to you, you have to institute some level of discipline. And then until this point, how can you expect a man to walk into this situation then when he walks in and your 6-year-old daughter is already cursing you out? What chance did he have? What chance did he stand?
Right.
You know,
that's when you were talking about that proverbial TV. That's when you were talking about that TV. Yes. You know, folks, there are 11 of these. We're gonna take 2 more, and then I want to let you guys get back to your Saturday night. These weekends, as Tasha say, it's amazing how the 40 hours we work seem like fucking 120 hours, and the 48 hours we have weekend.
You know, I know, Brother Black. I told you what I've been doing since Friday.
Man,
so,
my brother been in that hot fucking sun. Lord, God bless you. So we're gonna take 2 more. But, go ahead, Kenny.
He really had a day off.
Oh, you broke up a little bit. What you say? What you say, Kenny?
I said, you already know what I've been dealing with. I've been doing the last almost 48 hours. So yeah, I ain't really had a day off.
Brother. Yeah, that's why I want to give you good time back to pour yourself.
No, but I'm good. I'm good. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the conversation.
So I love it. That, man, it's so good. I miss you guys. Let's go to this one, the social director. And again, I'm reading these all for the first time with you guys. It says, planning every day, vacation, or social event used to fall on men's shoulders. Now men are walking away from the expectation that they must always take the lead. Sharing planning means both partners get a say, and a relationship feels more like a team effort. This is a minor one for me, and I can't see why a man in this instance will walk away because
I don't agree with that.
That's what I'm saying. Does anybody agree with that?
Yeah.
I think this is a minor.
No.
Yeah, this is a, you know, so we're gonna skip through a couple of these, because that one to me is, if you're walking away because y'all have an issue over, who gives a fuck about that? You know, if you get to go on vacation,
you winning already. You winning.
Yeah,
you get to go here.
Maybe, and truly in this case, I hope I'm okay with the woman's, because you're gonna likely say, baby, where you want to go.
Wherever you want to go, baby, I'm good.
We're
going where you want to be.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Because realistically, give me a remote and put a drink in my hand, you ain't gonna hit too much out of me.
Yeah, if I'm gonna see you naked at the nighttime, then it's all that matters to me. As long as I'm gonna see you naked when the night ends,
that's
I'm
my
good.
brother right there. All the date planning shit we do and everything, that's fine. If at the end of the night, are you gonna have on a t-shirt and no drawers? That's
right. That's
what did I miss?
I thought we were
that's
skipping
the end goal.
What did I miss?
I thought we were skipping this.
Well, my brother, he was leading me down the hallway.
What did I miss? I just came back.
Girl, you didn't miss nothing. We were supposed to be skipping it.
My brother
What was the question?
Oh, the social director. The social director. Men who were walking away from the role of being
the door for me to go down that hallway.
Like
what about
and stuff?
Planning days, planning vacations, things like that.
Yeah. And we were just saying a man shouldn't be walking away from dating somebody because of planning a vacation or a trip.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
And that one I don't agree with at all, because
me either.
If you got somebody you're attracted to, and on a serious note, where you go on a date, it really that's not that big enough reason to walk away. You know,
it don't even matter.
Yeah, that doesn't even matter.
Excuse
you
me?
know. Oh wow. No, so you think a man should walk away? You're agreeing with me, but you're not hearing what I'm saying.
Oh, you said a man should walk
I'm
away?
saying a man doesn't really give a shit about.
Oh no, that's not a reason to walk away.
Because that's
right.
important to you.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with a woman saying, you know, where we go on vacation, you know, and hey, I don't like that restaurant. Now it only becomes a problem. It's like in the early part of this conversation, if you're telling me and I'm trying to date you that you too good for the Waffle House. Now, if you telling me, bitch, that you too good to go to the Waffle House, yes, I'm walking away. Bitch, the Waffle House better fill your stomach. You know, I'm
Black,
just saying.
please.
Now
Not
that's what
the Waffle House on the
I
first
disagree.
day. Black,
What's wrong with the
please.
Waffle House?
That
On
is
the
the
first
first day. But the Waffle House go hard. Y'all better quit.
Thank you.
hating on the Waffle
Not
House.
on the first date.
No,
Waffle House
not
on the first
first
day
day.
is wild.
No,
Wait a minute now. Well, wait a minute now.
No,
What
not
the
on the
fuck
first
is wrong with
day.
the Waffle House on
He's
the first
talking
day?
about it, sir.
No,
Kenny, tell him
Black.
he cannot take
Black,
it
no,
back.
Black wasn't
Not
talking
the
about
first
Waffle
day.
House on the first day. No,
Not the
he's talking
first
about
day,
that's
but the
later
only
on.
time I ever been to the Waffle House was with Bert.
The Waffle House go hard. I don't know where y'all
I
tripping on
know
the
got a
Waffle
problem
House.
with that. I don't understand what's wrong with the Waffle House on a fucking first date.
Absolutely not, Black.
No,
We're
The
not
first
going
day?
to the
we
Waffle
can't do that
House.
on the first day, bro.
No, not on the
we
first
can't
day.
do Waffle House.
You
on the
want to
first
get
day.
to know someone. Do you want to bring because they might have to rumble in there. You want that on the first day?
Exactly.
Then you
You
walk
might
there
have to
like she
fight
I
with
crazy.
can make
Waffle
an argument. I can make an argument, Hannah, that I want to see what your reaction. That if you can handle that, then yes, I might take you to the better place.
What?
But if you think you too fucking good for a couple of omelets and a waffle,
Yes, I
well,
am.
no.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
But
You gonna be
Brother
fighting,
Black,
you gonna be
Brother
fighting for
Black,
your
Walk
life
in
in
the
that
park.
Waffle.
Waffle House don't
I'm
do
not gonna take it
omelets.
to the worst fucking Waffle House in the world.
Brother Black, Waffle House don't do omelets. So I don't know what Waffle House is.
Yes, they do.
Not the Waffle House I'd have been to.
I got an omelet in
Waffle
my
House does
I got
omelets.
an omelet in my refrigerator right now from Waffle House.
When they start doing omelets.
You have to ask them to make it. I got
They got
in my
you
fridge right
gotta
now.
ask.
I got an omelet, and I got they do their new special is
You gotta
is
ask.
raspberry waffles, and I got the raspberry waffles, the blueberry waffles, and an omelet in my fridge right now. And if that's good enough for my fucking stomach, then it better be good enough for you.
But damn it, Brother Black, we can't take no woman to the Waffle House on the first date.
Not on the first date.
We at least gotta take them to Denny's, goddamn it.
Denny's.
Oh my God.
Right?
Craig,
See, Kenny, don't help no more. Don't you help no
Craig
more.
asked the right question. So Craig asked the right question, and I know this. We're gonna just get a quick answer.
Denny's.
But where is a good first date then? Okay, if I wanted, we going for breakfast. Where we going? Let's say we're going to meet somewhere to eat. If you tell me Waffle House ain't good enough, Tasha and Hannah,
If we're going to breakfast.
Churches.
You want a breakfast?
No,
spot?
first date. No,
first
that ain't
date,
breakfast.
right? But what if the first date is breakfast? Hey, let's meet over
that could be a
breakfast.
first
So
date.
first date
Wait a
and it's breakfast.
Wait a minute. So
First date could
I'm
be
assuming
breakfast.
if the first date is breakfast, y'all done spent the night together. So.
No, Tasha. No, not necessarily.
You can eat wherever you want to eat.
Not Tasha, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Maybe he's thinking outside the box. Maybe he's thinking outside the box.
I'm agreeing with Tasha. Now, if this is the morning after, yes, you can eat where we want to eat.
Yeah, you can go to Waffle House if it's the morning after.
It's breakfast.
But this could be he could be trying to be a little different. Because a man, I mean, would y'all be receptive to? Oh, see, I'm getting ready to go a whole nother route. I'm gonna ask the ladies.
I have one.
Would y'all be receptive for a first date if a man asked you for a breakfast date?
Ooh.
Yeah, I would be receptive.
Yeah.
So what's a good place then? What's acceptable?
It would have to be a specific breakfast place in the city, not a chain. So it's gonna be whatever breakfast spot, little restaurant in your city. It cannot be a chain though. It will not be a chain.
Gotcha. It had to be so like a mom and pops that's really, really popular or something that's really different.
I'm not even going to say like a mom and pop. It's going to have to be like a niche, maybe kind of nice place. I'm thinking it's probably going to be almost like a brunch spot, but not like the live popping brunch spot. Not like that.
Gotcha.
No music, no twerking.
I'm so glad you're telling me this. So I know not to ask a woman on a first date because I'm thinking fucking Denny's or Waffle House, and that's acceptable. It's nothing wrong with Denny's or Waffle. And Sherry said that Sherry said that me and you would get beat after she eat. So you know this, she would eat first though. So that's the thing, though. She would fucking eat first, and so you would turn the meal down.
She ain't crazy.
Oh man, Sherry is so funny.
Greg say women are better planners anyway, so I'm cool with it. I agree with that.
Oh wow,
and
that's
funny. Why I have no problem. And then Craig says for men, Waffle House, Denny's. For women, the Four Seasons. Oh,
no, it does not have to be the four. Okay.
No, the Four Seasons. That's later on down the line, man. Come on,
Four Seasons. Let Hannah go.
So I'm with Tasha. Please no chain. However, put some thought into it, because sometimes you can go to a nice breakfast spot that's less than a chain restaurant, and you have a good atmosphere. Also, the Four Seasons.
Give me an example.
So no, never do that. They breakfast.
Can you give me an example?
So you can download Open Table, and it'll tell you the prices of the brunch spot and what it is before you go. Also, if you some of us is a little crazy. If you're not sure, give two options. I saw these two places. Which one would you prefer? You don't have to. I said if you're dealing with somebody crazy, but you want to get the draws. But however, the Waffle House is not for draws. That's for bulls. But I don't think Waffle House is a good first date. I feel like you don't have to spend a lot of money for breakfast. Just put a little effort into it. Everybody goes to the Waffle House. You want to be different. Be different. We don't want much.
I hear you. I'm being serious. I hear you, and I hope y'all hear me. I have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with the Waffle House. Now, Tasha and Hannah, I'm not talking about taking her to the Waffle House in fucking Riverdale where all the niggas, but a Waffle House right here in Sandy Springs, it ain't nothing wrong with that. It's clean. So y'all shaking your head already like you
not for a first date.
Not for a first date.
No.
Okay.
I'd rather go to IHOP than the Waffle House. I don't even like IHOP.
Oh Lord, that's why I say. Craig said they have brunch at the Waffle House. Waffle House is for me, y'all, is good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. If I'm even if it's a first date, it's not about the meal for me. I'm trying to get to know you, just have a conversation. And so again, you talking about put some thought into it. Why the fuck I gotta be doing all of that? I don't even know you yet.
Why not though? If you want a date to go play, okay. So if you want a date to go from date one to date two, and she's not asking for an expensive place, why not put some thought into it so it can go from date one to date?
Now, only reason that's acceptable then if she says, "Hey, let's meet here," and she named the place. But if I'm picking a place, it's going to be convenient. Someplace I'm not thinking about the food, and if you're judging me because I invited you to Waffle House, then fuck you. And that's the reason why I'm trying to fuck on the first date anyway, because of that type of bullshit.
Waffle House is wild.
It's absolute wild for first date. That is wild for first date.
Network.
Yeah,
we are not in a one-horse town, okay? We have more things now, Black. We have more restaurants.
Yeah,
and breakfast is usually cheap anyway, so
Waffle House will have you on some breaking news.
Bert like Waffle House.
My brother Bert haven't said a
Waffle House have you on some breaking news at 10 o'clock on your local news station.
Also know his wife too.
What you say, Black?
Bert haven't said a thing. Bert, what is your verdict on a Waffle House on the first date?
I ain't got no problem with the Waffle House.
I think if you took a survey of the brothers on this crew, we wouldn't have a problem.
That's my dog. That's my dog. Craig says, did I hear what a good first date is from the women? They saying, Hannah's saying you got to put some thought into it. It can't be a chain. Hunter said it can't be a chain place. Possibly give her two alternatives. And you said something about open house or open book.
He said open table. No, okay, Craig. Here's the thing,
Brother
Craig.
Brother Black said
if we're talking about breakfast first date, if it were me, I would just Google just that breakfast restaurant in whatever city that you're in and just see what comes up, but don't pick a chain one. That's the whole thing. Don't pick a chain one. But even still, if we're just talking about non-breakfast dates, let's just get out of breakfast, okay? Non-breakfast. I know, Black, you can go there lunch, dinner, anytime. Okay, it's fine. We're not Waffle House is out for a first date. That's wild. It's crazy. Absolutely not. But it doesn't have to be expensive. I'm not opposed to going for a coffee date. Hannah said going to a park. Help me. Anything surrounded by food, I'm good. We can go to a food truck and I will be fine. Okay. So I am not upset about that.
So let me ask you. Let me ask you this.
We ain't going to Waffle House. We can go to a food truck though.
Yes.
We cannot go to a Waffle House.
But Tasha,
did you say you can go to a food truck though?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
But you said you was good for a park. You was good for a park. Tasha, Shauna, y'all good for like a park date? Like
So
if a brother bring like he get like some Subway sandwiches and whatever and set something up, y'all would be cool with that.
As long as it's not 95 degrees outside with 105 humidity, that's fine. As long as it's not this hot outside, I'm not opposed to that.
What if that's a first date though?
That's fine. That's fine for a first date. Absolutely.
Y'all are on the real tip. Y'all are teaching me something. On the real tip, y'all are teaching me something. On the real tip, y'all, I'm learning something here.
So basically, y'all saying is, as long as a man puts some effort and some thought into something,
you
cool with it.
Yes,
but let me ask you, as long, let me say this though, as long as you feeling them though, right?
Oh.
Well, why? Number one, for me, I'm not going somewhere that I'm not feeling. I'm not going to be around you.
Well, I have to ask that. I mean, I'm just saying. Some women like to go get a free meal. Some women like to go just like, I want to get a free meal out of this.
Sherry said she's going regardless, and then she gonna whoop your ass.
I'm not doing that.
No.
Okay.
My time is too valuable now. And I can buy my own fucking food. It ain't that serious to get a free fucking meal. So.
I can cook my own food.
That's right. Let's go to Waffle House.
Okay.
I thank you for telling me that because
we're not going to Waffle House.
I'm feeling where you're coming from. Because now, to be honest with you, I'm okay with packing a couple of sandwiches and let's sit in the park.
I mean, too. I think that's to me. I think that's dope because you get to know a person. Just eating, talk, and have conversation,
is that it's not.
I think that's dope.
That I want to genuinely kind of have that conversation. I
want to have conversation.
Right? I didn't see anything wrong with the Waffle House, the environment of it, and I'm not talking about one where ratchet people are going to be arguing and fight. But eat for breakfast, it's early in the morning. Let's have some coffee. I'm gonna eat. Because I'm going to eat my food regardless. If you don't like me, you can get up and leave.
See, Lee, that's the problem now.
Right.
That's the problem.
What did I say that was wrong?
But Hannah, that's real talk though. Really.
What did I say that was wrong, Hannah?
Nothing, but you don't want to get out your comfort zone. You're comfortable with the Waffle House, so you expect the woman to be comfortable.
No, I like the food there. I'm just as comfortable on a bench. Now you forget who you're talking to. If you telling me that that's gonna work for me, bitch, let's go to this bench.
Well, not without the B. Okay. Without the B. Okay, without the unstable creature. So listen, y'all. Our first date, Bert took me to a Japanese tea house. And he was ignorant with it because he sent me a picture and I said, "Oh, that's nice." He said, "Get dressed and wear flats." Like, who says that? However, I did.
You got dressed and you wore them flats, didn't you?
Right.
I did.
You got dressed and wore them goddamn flats, didn't you? Goddamn. You damn sure did.
You can't wear shoes.
Already.
You couldn't wear shoes, so you had to leave your shoes outside.
Okay, but you didn't know.
I didn't know, but however, the fact that he sent me a picture of a tea house and he immediately planned it resonated.
You like that he put some effort into it.
He put for some
I
effort.
love that.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that.
Right.
And that's why I'm saying y'all are educating me that if you tell him, because in my mind, that's simpler than Waffle House. That we can meet on the bench and eat a sandwich. To Tasha's point, my time is valuable too. So I get to see you on your bench, look that pussy over and see if I want to date it again. And again, it ain't cost me a whole nothing but a Subway sandwich.
No, Kenny said a Subway with a picnic. You ain't say go to Subway and sit on the damn bench.
Yeah,
Kenny,
right,
you was going to say that.
Yeah.
And you added two
I
conversations.
said picnic and it maybe had Subway sandwiches.
Yes.
That's what I said.
Kenny had thought.
See, now that's too much.
Subway $5.
You want me to bring in a picnic back? What the fuck are we, Yogi and Boo Boo? No, look, let's sit on a bench and just have a conversation.
I'm on Kenny's side.
Hey, you know what, Lee? You know what? You know what? Only people our age will remember Yogi and Boo Boo with that bullshit. Black.
Craig says Waffle House is cool for a spontaneous first date. Thank you, Craig.
It is not cool for a spontaneous first date. And let me just say
no, it's not cool. It's not cool for a
if somebody tells me to go to Waffle House on a first date and you don't tell me to bring a weapon, I'm gonna think you don't even care about me like that.
Wow.
Not for our first date.
Wow. You feeling the board, like he's checking off all the boxes as far as for what you can see, as far as what you investigated. I know y'all investigators.
Yes,
so after all that,
they definitely gonna do that.
Like, you know what? He all right. If he say, listen, I want to go to the Waffle House real quick, would you go with him?
No, I would suggest maybe not there. Can we go here? I would make a suggestion, a heavy suggestion. I would feel more comfortable going here.
Now, what if his reply is like, hey, listen, I got you. I know the reputation, but this one is nice. But you jump off. I got you.
Maybe then we can meet on another day because I don't want to eat there.
Wow. She adamant that she ain't going on no first date to Waffle House.
Not to Waffle House.
Not the first date.
No, as a man, I would not ever say tell a woman to meet me at Waffle House for a first date. I wouldn't do that.
Now you should have Waffle House down.
That's why he's the good.
Not for a first date. No, I wouldn't do that.
People, he's the good Capricorn. I'm the bad Capricorn.
I would not ever tell a woman, hey, let's go to Waffle House on the first date. Oh hell. Especially if it's a woman I'm trying to get at too, and I'm digging like that. No, I'm not gonna do that.
You want my arms on that sticky table.
What if she be like, yeah, I'm with it?
Hold on.
Nah, but I would, but Brother Bert, I wouldn't ask her that because if I'm digging her, I'm gonna take her to a spot that I'm like, okay, let's go to a different spot. We ain't doing no that. To me, Waffle House is after we done smashed.
Yeah.
Then to me, we already got a relationship. Like when it's smashed, you're like, okay, baby, let's go get these hash browns with this.
Not even if it's something like real quick, and we'll go somewhere later on. You're not going, period.
Not the first date.
Even if I say later on, we going to Roof Chris or someplace like that.
I don't care where we
not for a first date.
Shit, I ain't doing no Roof Chris on no fucking
that ain't happening.
No, I'm just trying to throw it out there because I'm just trying to get to the Waffle House.
No,
man, you know how my ends are set up, Brother Bert. I ain't doing no fucking Roof Chris on
I ain't never going to Roof Chris. I ain't never going to Roof Chris. Craig says spontaneous as far as meet him in a club, y'all vibing. It's 4 a.m. in the morning. Y'all hungry. Oh, he make a good point, Tasha. What if that first you're in a club setting, you meet, and that do y'all consider that a first date?
That's not a date.
That is not a date.
That's an encounter.
That is not a date.
We dancing at the club and we go to breakfast at the Waffle House. That's not a date.
Leaving the club, but y'all connect to the club, and what's open? That's not a date.
Okay, we can
that's
go
not
there.
a date. Nope.
It's an encounter.
It's not a date. Take you there.
It's an encounter.
Here's what I love about women: how y'all are able to rationalize the reason to get them musty drawers on.
That is not a date. That is not a date. It is not a date.
Up on the dance floor, you take for some eggs and bacon. It ain't no damn date. It's breakfast.
In your mind, it's not a date. In his mind, it's a date.
It's not. I can't. I can't help what y'all think in y'all's mind, but as a woman in my mind, that is not a date.
That is not a date.
If you got the drawers, it's still a date.
We ain't worried about what what's in your mind? We trying to just get y'all to that Waffle House and get
You ain't
get
going
them
to no
cheese.
damn Waffle House.
I want
No,
them
no,
yeets. Get to this Waffle
no,
House.
no, because here's the thing: if I get too full, ain't nobody get no draws. I'm going right
I'm
to sleep.
asleep.
So,
I'm asleep.
ain't nobody get nothing.
Oh,
I need to go lay down and
oh,
sober
damn.
up. So.
Yeah, that's a wrap, huh? That's a wrap.
If I'm full, I'm asleep.
I'll be sleeping right with you.
Now, you
Thank
listen with
you.
me.
Hey, Waffle
Thank
House
you.
made me sleepy
Thank
too.
you.
Let me curl
You
up
better
with
sleep
you,
your
girl.
damn
Roll over and
car.
take a nap. I'll get you from behind.
No.
Yeah.
You,
Just,
Kenny, and
just
Mark
go
lost
toot
your
that thing
mind.
up. Toot that thing up. Yeah.
What the heck?
Because this is the way I
Toot that
see it.
thing
So
up. It's
we
going
vibing
down.
to Craig's scenario.
Listen,
We're
man.
vibing. We go to Waffle House. It's 4:00 in the morning. I ate. I've sobered up in there. I'm not going anywhere with you. I'm going
sober now.
home.
Don't
I'm
mean
sober
nothing.
now.
You should
I'm
have got me
sobered
before
up.
we had the bacon.
Yeah, you missed your opportunity. Moment's
No,
over. I'm
'cause
going home.
we're gonna make sure I don't eat enough. We
We
still
gonna
got
eat.
Thank
y'all.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
You
Craig
go-
says,
you go
Hunter.
have a- Go
Craig
ahead.
says, Hunter, an encounter is you meet a guy at a club, he gets your digits, and he says he'll call you. Tasha, that's a date, just
It's
not
not.
the ideal date.
That's not
It
a
is not a date.
It's a date.
It is not a date.
That's not
It
a
is
date.
not a
It's an
date.
impromptu date.
It's not
No
a date.
That
woman
shows you
will
how
tell
men
you
and
that
women
that's a
see it
date.
very different. Because to me,
It's a date.
Craig, that's a date.
So all y'all men think that's a date.
It's a
That's
date.
a date.
You can
So
think,
wait,
but
wait,
it ain't
okay,
actual
so
sex.
You gotta be
if
feeling it.
y'all-
You just met me in the club and we just danced.
I'm
and you wanna
hungry. I've been checking my cheeks
Wait a
all
minute.
night.
Go. But you're
Wait
going
a
with
minute.
me.
Wait a minute. I have a
exclusively.
question.
Dolo,
So-
you going with me. That's
wait
a
a
date.
minute.
Let's go.
Hold on, Bert. So I have a question. So if you let's just take the woman out and put a man in there. You meet a man and y'all are vibing at the club
Tasha.
at 4
Stop
a.m.
it, Tasha. Stop it, Tasha.
Wait.
No.
You know good and goddamn well.
No, I'm gonna take the woman out of it. You meet a group. Y'all are out. Y'all are vibing. Y'all are having a good time. You meet a friend at the club. You go to the Waffle House. Is you going out with another guy a fucking date?
Now you know when a man uses the word date,
that ain't gonna work with me. Get your behind
unless you trying to
Waffle House girl.
Answer Tasha's question.
It's a
no,
date.
because Tasha being funny.
No, if we with the dudes, with the homies, we just going somewhere to grab a bite to eat real quick.
Tasha, you know good damn well that ain't no man. No man ain't going on no damn date with each other.
Wait a minute. Well, why not? It's the same scenario.
What's the difference?
Tasha on that
BS. That's your word date. Date implies that you now.
Tasha on that BS.
Hold on, Tasha. The only way that applies is if you trying to suck or take some dick. But I'm talking about just for regular heterosexual men. When you use the word date, we're talking about women.
No.
Now for my gay viewers, that is a date for a gay man. He took me out to the Waffle House, and a Waffle House acceptable for them to suck and take some dick. So
no. My question was a valid question. It's a valid question. If you go out with another man, is it considered a date? No, it's only a date because it's considered a woman. No, it's an encounter. That's all it is.
No.
Going to have breakfast. That's it. That is not a date.
Adam, girl. Get to this Waffle House so we go on this date.
Can we get to the next one, number 7? Can we get to number 7?
We haven't even done number 6 yet.
Well, number 6. Can we get to number 6? I don't know what the hell Tasha talking about because she on some BS. She done lost her mind. No, Tasha done lost her damn mind.
That was a valid question. That was a valid
number 6.
question.
Let's get Brother Black. Number 6. Let's get to it.
It is the sacrificial dreamer. Men have often been expected to put their own dreams on hold for the sake of the family or relationship. Today, more men are pursuing their passions alongside their partners. This doesn't mean neglecting responsibilities. It means recognizing that both people's goals matter. Supporting each other's ambitions leads to more fulfilled, happy relationships. So again, is this a reason that men are quietly walking away because they're expected to put their own dreams on hold for the sake of the family or relationships.
I disagree.
I disagree too.
I think women have put their dreams and aspirations on hold.
I agree. I agree.
And I don't, you know,
they got
I'm
this one 1,000% wrong for me.
They got that one wrong. I don't think that's
you
never
disagree?
been. That's never been the issue for men.
That's not, and I don't see. And this is where, to your point, Bert, which men we talking about? But go ahead.
You're saying that men will walk away from this shit because they don't feel like they got to put their dreams and stuff on hold.
Right. You think that happens? You think men are saying, you know what? I'm going to walk away from this whole dating scene because women are expecting me to put my dreams on hold for the sake of the family or the relationship.
I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that.
I don't.
That's why I say, ladies, y'all y'all see this any different?
I don't see no difference.
I don't see no difference.
Because Kenny makes a good point. I think it's reversed. I think way too often women are expected to make those sacrifices for the sake of their kids, their family, and the relationship. And so this is where I'm going to say they got this 1,000% wrong. Craig said, I don't know if women expect me to put their dreams on hold. I think men will put their dreams on hold for the family. Craig, I don't necessarily agree with that one, my brother. You know, I think as a man, we instinctively are. If you're a good man, we're talking about you're wanting to see your family flourish, but I don't necessarily know if men are putting their dreams on hold, because when you voluntarily take on that family, that's a part of the dream. That I want a family. I want, you know. I don't think we talked earlier about coming into relationships where the woman has children. You enter that knowing she has children, knowing that's a package deal. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. No, I agree with you. You're right.
So that's where I think it would be awfully selfish then for you to enter that woman's life and then start to say, but hey, I wanted to be an astronaut, or I wanted to do this. But I can't do it because you have kids. You kind of know that going in.
Right.
You tripping now.
No, I know I'm being extreme.
No, not you. I'm talking about you come up with that mess.
That's why I'm being extreme, but I'm just saying that now this is where I think men fuck up sometimes. When you enter a woman and then you change the goalpost. If you meet a woman that she's a stripper, and you fall in love with her, and no, I'm being real. I'm not even being extreme.
No, I know. You're right.
And now
you're right.
That y'all become in a relationship. Oh, you can't dance. I don't want you can't dance. You met her.
You met
as that.
I totally agree with you. Yeah, you can't change the game. You can't change the rules. That's who she was when you met her.
You know Unless you come in with that same monthly income every night that she making.
That's you was okay with it when you
was okay with it.
There, you was attracted to her, but and so to this point, if you start a family because you have a say in this, in a sense. Let's say if the woman don't have I guess Craig, I guess I want to know from you. Let's say if the woman don't have children, but once she gets pregnant, if you stay and it's now become a family, are you then putting your dreams on hold? I think instinctively you would want. I guess theoretically a woman could say, I'm having this baby no matter what. You know what I'm saying? But if you stay and you still with her, I wouldn't say you're putting your dreams on hold. And yes, you're going to make some sacrifices, but I would think you would want to. That's just how I look at it.
I think you start my
you know.
Yeah,
this
conversation could go so many different ways. I get what you're saying.
What about the silent sufferer, folks? Suppressing struggles and toughing it out is a role many men are leaving behind. Men are now more likely to seek help, whether it's for mental health, career challenges, or relationship issues. Bert, this is where your question in the beginning was valid. Are we talking about black men or the others?
Right.
Because us black men, it's sad to say, we are toughing it out. We're not seeking help.
Right.
You know, I'm being brutally honest here.
No,
One thing we don't do as black men, we don't seek help. You know what we do as black men? Rather than open up and even share with women, we smoke something, we drink something, we fuck something. That's where it fucks things up even more. Fellas, add to this. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. You're right, Black. I would say I think I can speak for most black men that we feel like that we have to suffer in silence.
I agree.
When we're dealing with whatever issues it is with loss.
Yeah.
With maybe not.
And rather
not
than tell that woman, we deal with it in a different way.
Right.
You know,
right.
But we don't walk away.
You know,
and maybe it would be beneficial if we did, because now you got all that shit, and you don't know.
But I'm gonna go back to say what you said earlier too, Brother Black, and I think Bert said this too. You have to, as a man, you have to be comfortable with that woman that you with, that you can feel like you can open up and say that you feel in a certain way about certain situations when you're dealing with suffering. Because we deal with women and men, we deal with loss differently. And I can speak from my own personal experience dealing with the loss of my mother. You know, it'll be 20 years this year. I feel like I was dealing that on my own.
Right.
And I'm not gonna delve into the deep part of that. But I feel like dealing with the loss of my mother, I felt like I was dealing with that on my own, as well as dealing with the loss of my marriage at the same time. Right. So I was like, who the hell can I talk to? But as a man, I gotta still keep it together. I still got to keep it together for my children. I still got to keep it together for everybody else. So I was like, I just feel like that's a sign of weakness. And I was like, where do I go? Who can I talk to? So
Tasha,
I think a lot of times black men, we feel like that.
Yeah.
I would say that the silent sufferer, I think that's right. I think a lot of men are actually getting away from that role. Because I mean, this whole conversation,
right?
A lot of men, we've all acknowledged, a lot of men are choosing to be single, and so no, they're not going to suffer in silence anymore. They may just opt just not to do relationships. Okay. But also, I would push back on what you're saying, because cheating, smoking, that's not suffering in silence. That is an action. That's just the way that you're choosing to get to deal with it.
No,
that's
I wasn't saying that's
suffering
in silence. Right. I'm saying that's how we cope. I'm saying that's how many men cope with it.
It may be a coping mechanism, but it's not a suffering. It's not a suffering in silence type of thing.
Well, you know what? So how can we help men deal with this outside of cheating, and from a woman perspective? If you know your man may be dealing with some issues, how can you be supportive and help your man get through these difficult times? To me, I'm about finding.
But that goes back to one of the previous ones. The moment you open up and be vulnerable, right? If you're on a time limit, right? So once again, this is where I guess I see it differently. So for a lot of men, they do choose to tough it out, because if you're going to put me on a time limit, the moment I open up and tell you that I'm suffering because of this past trauma or whatever, and now I'm a bitch ass nigga because I said that, I keep it to myself.
Well, it's going to vary woman to woman. It's going to be different. Right. Be a different response from woman. For me, what is it? What's the issue? I'm a problem solving. I'm a problem oriented person. What's the issue? What's the core issue? What do we need to address? I'm going to ask you a million questions. So don't go shutting down on me because you feel like I'm getting off into your business. I'm going to ask a million questions, because then we're going to come up with something. How can I help you? Help me help you, so that can help us. I'm going to ask a million questions. But a lot of times what I have found is when I start asking those questions, I get shut down, or somebody wants to start talking to me in fucking code like I'm supposed to figure that shit out. I don't know.
So I'll say this. So this is where some guys may object to that because that technique could be abrasive. That would be abrasive for me if I'm dealing with some kind of trauma or whatever, and you're expecting me to, from a question and answer perspective, to articulate that. And that's all I'm saying, that would be for me, that I would rather not share it. If tell me what the issue is and articulate this, that, because sometimes that may not be easy to do it that way.
Right.
You know,
no,
that's
all.
I
get that.
Tell me something.
So that's where I'm back to. In knowing that person.
You got to say something.
That's what I'm saying. I want to make sure Craig's point again, because he answered that. He said, I think what I'm saying is that men will always put his family first before his own desires, thus putting his dream. Now, I agree with you there. I agree with you in that sense. I guess, Craig, I wasn't looking at it from those words, but you're right. But putting his dreams, because we're saying the same thing, I think, that, yeah, any man that's loving his family, you should be putting them first. Yeah. Because the moment you're having that kid, for many or your individual, some of your individual things, it does stop at that point. That it's not about you. It's about now setting up this little person to have the advantages. So if my dream is to have a Corvette and a this, that, and the other, and now a kid comes into the picture, that probably is not practical at that point. Let me go get a minivan so my family could be comfortable. So my dream might have been, I want this sports car. So in that sense, yeah, I'm going to put my family first. Now, Craig agrees with you, Tasha. He says, I agree. Men are raised as kids not to express their feelings. I guess he was talking about me. We grow into men holding our feelings, and that's, Tasha, to it is a thing, because we're not encouraged as from boys to men to open up like that. We're not encouraged to. All right, let's go on to
Hannah has something.
I'm sorry, Hannah. I'm sorry, sweetheart.
I was going to say that I think it depends on the generation that you're dealing with.
Ooh.
Every generation is different, and I'm saying that as a person who had a dad who's a strong military person and who has a son who is trying to change the narrative of how you can express yourself. Right. So I think that some generations, they were taught that a man should not open up. Correct. And I also think that when you're in a relationship with someone, you have to know their patterns. You have to know how to address them. Like, I know sometimes I've been married to Bert. We was together but way before we married, and I know him, and I know some things he don't express, but I know how to address him and how to not hound him, but also see how can I help when he's able to open up. So I think that comes with, sometimes we have to have, I'm not trying to get spiritual, but discernment of how to deal with a certain person. Absolutely. You can't handle everybody the same. Absolutely. So when you're in a relationship with someone you're saying you're with and you want them to open up to you, some people you can address them as, what is this, what is that? Some of them you have to let them come to you. But also us as women, we want men to come to us, and we want certain things. But then when it's brought to us, we want to act like we know it all or shut them down. So I feel like you have to come to a point where you have to sometimes, and I'm a woman, shut up and listen, like we want men to shut up and listen. And that way, sometimes you might not have a solution for him, but sometimes, just like we don't want to answer, sometimes you have to just get it off your chest. And if you don't want to talk to a therapist, because in the Black community back then, you weren't supposed to talk to a therapist. They told you to go to church. So you didn't really have that opening. So I think nowadays it's an opening that we didn't have back then. But I think
generationally, they are embracing it.
And we're so programmed for how we were. Some people can't change it. So you just have to deal with it. If you with someone who is a new age person who wants to open up and share, listen. If you're with someone who's old school and stern, then you have to adjust it and handle it a different way. So I feel like you have to also adjust how you're talking to that person to get an open dialogue so they can open up to you. You can't address
and we've talked about this before, and Kenny, Kenny talked about one thing. I'm like Tasha in some ways in this one. I wouldn't talk to a stranger, but I talk to her. I would open up more to a friend than I would going to a trained, licensed professional. I would be more comfortable talking to a friend. But in a relationship, in many ways, Tasha, I think we're similar in this sense. I don't want you to fix me. And I don't necessarily want to tell you at that moment, let me work it through in my own head. That give me some time, give me some space, before I'm ready to tell it to you in my own way. So don't fix me. Let me deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Work through it.
Right.
Absolutely. Work through whatever it is. But if I notice it's a recurring thing that keeps coming up and it's obvious that you have a problem, what's the problem?
That's
what
different.
is it?
That's different. Yeah,
because if it's constantly, if something constantly coming up, no, what is the issue?
You're right. You're right.
Because it's like, now I feel like you're begging for attention. What do you want?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And but that's why I say for me, I'm gonna fix it. Let me get this together in my head. Let me fix it. Okay, the unquestioned leader. The idea that men must always be in charge is losing ground. Modern relationships thrive on shared decision-making and mutual respect. Men are stepping back from the need to dominate and embracing equality.
What?
Interesting.
They are.
I want no punk ass man.
No,
Whoa!
But they are,
you know what? No, hold on, Tasha. I want see. Shahana just said something that I disagree with. You said you don't want to. Just because a man ain't a leader, don't make him punk ass. That don't make him a punk ass man. I want you to elaborate on that.
Okay. I'm sorry. I've come from, I don't know if it's the PK in me. I feel like a man should lead.
And that's me.
I don't know if it's.
I agree with Hannah. But
like a man should lead.
But I do think
if he's a mediocre leader, you still want him to lead?
No.
Is that what
you're
saying?
Your point,
no,
Kenny, you got a good point because I do think that men are
mediocre.
stepping back from leading, but that's where the toxic male in me is from that era where Hannah's talking about. Look, even in the marriage vows,
go ahead. Go ahead. I just want to hear. I want to hear.
Vows.
I want to hear Shahana's.
Okay, so I'm not saying control me, but
right.
I do feel like the man is the leader of the household.
I'm joking.
I know you are.
I do feel like the man is the leader.
Joking. But on a serious note, this triggers some to hear this, but it
triggered me when I heard Shahana say that if a man is not a leader,
right? I know
that makes him punk ass. I
knew what she meant. I knew what she meant.
Just that, Kenny.
Okay.
I wasn't saying if a man, everybody. Hold on, I mean ice. Everybody is not a leader. Everybody is not a leader.
Right.
But you don't marry someone if you're a woman if you're a certain person, you don't marry someone who's not going to be a leader if you expect that.
But Hannah, many women voluntarily enter relationships knowing the man is not a good leader.
Well, that's on them.
But
I agree.
But
that's where
some people can be taught to lead too. If you fall back some, a man can try to lead.
But that man has to earn. But he has to prove and earn that respect. This is where again I'm going to hold men accountable, black, white, and everything in between. If you are not able to demonstrate that you make good decisions to lead, I don't expect that woman to let you lead.
And it's not about income or status.
I agree.
No. We're not talking about how much money you make. So this has nothing to do with money. I'm talking about if you're in a relationship and you're not, as a man, demonstrating good cognitive skills to make decisions that improve that relationship, I have no problem with the woman not giving you the reins, because if you're not thinking long term, hey, we trying to get a house here. Hey, this is how we're going to get this second car. oh, okay, before we go on vacation, I want to make sure we got the rent paid. If you're not demonstrating in that relationship as a man, whatever, fuck the money, that you have the ability to think ahead and to make sure that you're okay, that you're both okay. And that woman is saying, I'm not going to let you lead me into ruin. But that's what I was saying. There's a lot of women that are in relationships knowing the man is not a good leader. Now, whether men are stepping away because they don't, this is my thing with this. A lot of men don't want to be the leader. They're okay riding the shotgun. And I'm not that guy. You know, I think part of my DNA, Kenny talked about this earlier, is if I'm in a relationship, I'm stepping out front. And that's not funny, that's in every way. I'm always thinking when I'm with my woman that when I'm walking down the street, baby, walk on the inside. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm always thinking because I'm looking out for her. Right. Tasha's been out with me and we just friends in a club scene. I am sitting there drinking and having a ball, but in that situation, I'm watching out for every woman at that table. I'm when they get up, if they don't do it, I'm covering her drink with a napkin so nobody can't drop shit in. I'm looking at the dance floor, and if I'm in a relationship with that woman, we at a concert or whatever. I'm saying my wife is not going to the bathroom by herself. You know what I'm saying? I'm making sure. So I'm always thinking because I'm leading, you know. And again, well, baby, I want to go this trip. When you tell me where we want to go, you know what my mind immediately says? How do we get there? So, okay, I want to make sure we got to pay our rent. Baby, you know we got to do this, that, and the other. So if we're going to go on that trip, we're going to have to put back this money. That's how I'm leading. You know, that's all I'm saying.
Let me say what I was going to say earlier. When Hannah made that comment, what I was going to say is nowadays a lot of women don't want that type of leader. They don't want that man taking that type of role anymore, which is why the unquestioned leader men are stepping away from it. It's a topic that constantly comes up because oftentimes it is equated to the amount of money that the man makes, being the sole provider and things like that. It is a role that a lot of women are saying, no, you can't tell me what to do. No, you can't make a final decision on a household, on our household. No, just because you said this doesn't mean that that's the law, that's it. It has been pushed back on it a lot. So yeah, the new generations, they're not going along with that anymore.
Great. And Craig says women also marry men or get in a relationship who can't leave because they want to be in control of the relationship. So y'all making the same point. And I wasn't looking at it that way. So you're right.
You're right.
So you're right. So maybe a lot of men are saying, you know what, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, and in that sense, I could never be in that type of relationship where I'm not leading. And even if she made more money than me, you couldn't use that to say that you're leading the relationship.
Let me ask you this, Black. Would you be okay with being the co-pilot? Could you be the co-pilot in that relationship?
In terms of the title, but I need you to still recognize that I'm leading this relationship. For me.
I have to have the final say.
I hope that when we get to the dating part, that I've earned your respect enough that when it's a decision to make, that I'm the one ultimately make. But I hope I've earned it for you to know that it's always going to be with our best interests in mind.
Right.
And even if you make more money than me, I could care less about a woman making more money than me.
Me too.
Please make more money than
me.
Well,
I'll be honest with you. My career and my background, most women gonna make more money than me.
Me.
So anybody out there that watch this, women, y'all probably gonna make more money than me because of my background. And I ain't got a problem with that.
I have no problem with that. But now, to Tasha's point, but if you're saying because I make more money than you, you have no say in where we're gonna go, what house we're gonna get, and I'm gonna bye. take your money, your house, and put that pillow between your
I'm
legs
with you on
and
that.
buy.
Yeah, I'm good on that. Yeah.
You know. Okay, we got a couple more to get through. And wrapping up, the reluctant caregiving, whether for children, aging parents, or sick partner, once seen as the women's work. Men are now taking on caregiving roles with pride and compassion. This change strengthens relationships and models empathy and responsibility. So, are men walking away because they want to take on the role of caregiver and a woman?
Yes.
How should help me with this?
I definitely could say yes.
The way that I'm understanding is just like it says, traditionally men were not caregivers. And so now they're walking away from being the reluctant caregiver, where it was almost impossible to get them to be engaged either with their kids, with their aging parents. Sometimes for some people, it's up to the spouse, it's up to the wife to make those arrangements for their husband's parents and things like that as they get up in age. And a lot of men are now taking that responsibility on, having his parents move in to the house, so then that way he can be more hands-on. A lot more men I'm seeing are opting also to be stay-at-home dads as well, to be more into the care. I think it's a nice thing. I think maybe by seeing things like that, you may see a nice balance in children, and breaking down some of those roles that we were talking about earlier. And when we spoke about like the being emotionally stoic, that maybe that helps tap into the children, that a nice balance, seeing a man able to regulate his emotions, being in teacher roles. A lot of men are starting to get back into those roles as well. So
I gotta ask a question for my fellas.
I definitely could relate to this.
For my men, could you be in a relationship where, so to speak, the roles reverse, where you're the caregiver, she's going out working and doing the traditional role of making the money, but you're taking care of housework, that could you be in that?
I'm going to say this. If you're talking about me, no. But I don't see, how can I frame this? As a man, I can't do that. I'm just gonna be straight up with you. I can't keep sugarcoating all this. Look, I am what I am. I'm cut from a different cloth.
Right.
You feel offering, but I'm going to work.
Okay.
You know what I mean, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Period. You know what I'm saying? All that staying at home, all that balance and stuff like that. Guess what? My kids going to, you know what my boys see? My dad worked hard. He showed me he had time for me to take me to sports and listen to my problems and do this and work with me my homework, and he still got it done. And I worked. And they have balance. And even if you ask their mom will tell you he was like more like a mother and a father, if you want to say that.
I know that's why I want to see. So you couldn't be in that
individual. It's just how the way I was raised. As men, we hunter gatherers. That's what we are. At our true core, that's what we are. All this growing up in different generations, the mindset and everything might change. But you know what? The reason why things are a little bit more tricked up now, I'm just gonna keep it funky, is because everybody's confused. Nobody don't know what their roles are anymore. But then they're situational roles. Oh, I don't take out the trash. You're supposed to take out the trash as a man. Oh, you're supposed to hold the door open. Oh, don't hold the door. No, there's no. I'm
agreeing with you there.
You should be anymore. So everybody's all over the place.
I'm agreeing with you there. Craig says, I could never be a stay-home dad because I like working, but I currently, along with my brothers, take care of my mother who has dementia. Sherry says, no, men, get yourself to work. I love you guys. I was trying to wait to hear what Brother Kenny say. So y'all are talking to a man who peace sitting down. So
damn, you gotta work. But you work.
So Kenny, you came back right on time. Could you be that stay-at-home caregiver and a woman is out doing the traditional role of working and everything, but you're doing housework, this, that, and other? Could you do that?
Nah, that ain't my DNA. No, I could not just be like sit sitting at home on my ass and she out there getting it, and I'm just like, nah, I gotta do my thing. But I also will understand that if we've had our conversation, we gotta understand it, and we know, okay, this is how we gotta set up. I'm cool with that, but I'm not gonna be just sitting at the house while she out there getting it. I can't do that. That's not in my DNA.
Sherry said we need to get ourselves, folks. I'm old. I'm 57 years old. I'm tired.
And you know what? And you know what's funny about this? The reluctant caregiver. Mm-hmm. I was thinking about this when we were talking about it, because I told you, brother, but like, I just my baby girl, my daughter, I just moved her out today, and it's kind of like, this is something like probably most mothers or most women would feel some type of way, when you moving out your child or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I was like, this is my baby, and I'm putting her in her own spot, and she good and whatever. But she leaving home. I don't want her. I did not want her to leave.
That's
right. I was talking to my brother.
I want her to leave.
Yep.
That's the bad.
And so I'm in my feelings right now, y'all. I can go and be honest. I didn't want my baby and my grandbaby to leave.
That's a loving father. That's a loving father. Nothing wrong with that.
And some people don't feel this way, but I didn't never want my babies to leave. I'm like,
once again,
that's the door.
As anybody who watched this show, he's the other side of the Capricorn.
No, it ain't just my daughter, Bert. It's my two sons too.
That's why I said
I didn't ever want them to leave. I want my babies to leave.
Me and you we're Capricorns, because I promise you, I think kids should leave home as early as possible. Get the
I don't.
No. I'm being really honest. And I was about to say, I'm 57. I'm tired now. My young age, I put this on everything I hold dear on the souls of my brother. I could find a woman that would let my fat black ass stay home and cook and clean. Please find me, ladies.
What the hell?
I would have no problem whatsoever with staying home and keeping the house and grocery shopping and folding clothes. And baby, I would make sure your shit is ironed and you got gas in the car. And I would wait. I would make sure I'm up in the morning so you got coffee, and I would usher you out the door. But if I could do nothing all day but keep house, you goddamn right I would.
Boy, my brother. That's my brother right there too.
I'll be honest. I think it would be a very, very interesting shift in society if we could go years on down. If we had that sustained where men stayed home or were primary caregivers for a number of years, I wonder what society would look like. What people would look like.
Hell no.
How that would look.
Tasha, we should write that movie. Tasha, we should write that movie. That would be a fascinating experiment to put on screen if we flip the script and all of a sudden women had to go out and become that and men had to be home. That would be interesting. Sherry says, I'm with you, Kenny. I want my baby girl to stay with me.
Man, and she my only daughter too. She already know how it rolls. So we got her. Me and her baby brothers, we got her. But just to know that she going now, man, y'all gotta know. I'm in my feelings.
I talked to my brother earlier, and that's something. Man, I hear you, my brother. I hear you.
I'm in my feelings right now. I ain't gonna even front.
Last two, the always available partner. Men are recognizing the importance of boundaries and self-care. The expectation to be constantly available, emotionally, physically, or otherwise, is being replaced by healthier limits. Now, I agree with that one. And Tasha, you just literally talked about that.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, for me as a woman, I'm the same way. Right. I cannot always be available to that's anybody. I'm sorry, you just can't always have access from me with everything, whether it's emotional. I'm a person too. No.
Right. No, I agree with that, Tasha, and I agree. But if it's someone you really have a connection with,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not speaking on the fuck around and you
right.
It's a one night stand and y'all get it off. I'm talking about somebody you really have a connection with. I think you should make yourself available for somebody that.
I agree with that, but I'm saying it from the perspective of I think men are walking away from the idea of always being available. You're that available partner. But to your point, Kenny, no, if I'm with somebody, I am always available, even if I don't feel like being available.
Let me comment on Craig. Let me say, Craig said that's interesting, Ken. Usually dads want their daughters to stay. Oh, Craig, believe me, I wanted my baby to stay. I maybe you misconstrued what I said. No, I wanted my baby girl to stay.
Right. Yeah, he wanted her to. He's
no, don't get it twisted. As long as I'm living, my baby girl could live with me till she would look like Harriet Tubman. As far as I'm concerned, but she feel like she wanted to get out because she got
right. No, Craig, he's saying the opposite.
Yeah,
that he's feeling some kind of way because he had to move her out.
Yeah,
and he's missing her.
I didn't want my baby to go.
You know, but Tasha, like what you said about this?
Go ahead, Tasha.
Oh no, what I would say, I don't think that it is realistic though to always expect your partner to always be available.
It's not realistic. I agree. I'm saying it's not realistic, but I'm saying if I love you, even when I don't want to, if you say I need to talk to you, I'm not going to say no. But it's unreal. So I agree with you, but I'm saying I'm not going to say no. But you make the valid point. I would hope that person recognizes when I'm at my limit too. You know what I'm saying? But you know, but I do think, you know, in terms of men walking away in this point, yeah, I think, you know, I think maybe to your point, Tasha, it is happening. Men are prioritizing themselves more, and that, hey, I can't be all things to all people. So that's our last one. Okay, Craig says. Okay, no, we already at that. Our last one, folks, is the traditional romantic. Grand gestures and rigid romantic scripts are no longer the only way to show love. Men are redefining romance to include everyday acts of kindness, shared responsibilities, and authentic connection. This approach makes relationships more sustainable and meaningful rather than performative.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good. Because that shows that, to me, the way that I'm taking it is that they're getting away from being just traditionally romantic, meaning that only certain highlights, certain days, birthdays, anniversaries, things like that, where they're making an effort. Instead, they're opting to do it more regularly on a daily basis.
Like that.
Where it's just the little things. I'm gonna get her favorite snack just because I thought about her, just because I was in the store, kind of thing. So I think that is good because it does mean more. You know, you may not even realize it, but it's like that person may constantly think about you in different ways that they're showing you on a daily basis, not because they have to.
Not only do I love everything you said, and I agree with this, I hope it becomes more standard and acceptable because of what you just said, Tasha. I never liked the idea that I'm supposed to get you something on Valentine's Day. Right. I would rather get it because I want to get it. But if you're measuring me because that's the day you're expecting this big grand gift, you're going to be disappointed because I'm that kind of person that on GP, I'm not going to do it. Because to your point, Tasha, if I'm just in a store and I think, oh, she would like this, why do I have to wait till a certain day to do that? And I love that you gave an example of a snack. You know, if you know your partner, it should be demonstrated in just everyday little acts of kindness. You know what I'm saying? You know, I just said a minute ago, you should know if the gas tank is low and without, you don't have to broadcast, baby, I filled your tank up. It needed to be done. Right. If you turn the fucking key over, you know what I'm saying? Oh shit, I got a full tank of gas. You know what I'm saying? Because you did it. You know what I'm saying? That one must have hit, Hannah.
Yeah. Yeah, that one hit Honda. Shit, I heard her.
Because Bert just come in there and just take my key because he know I'm with E.
Right. He already know.
He already know. He like, this happened on E.
Right.
And if that ain't love, I don't know what is.
It.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, damn, you know what I'm saying? I don't want my wife to run out of gas, you know.
Let me ask one of my favorite married couples, because I got a few. Johanna and Berta are in that top 5. What is the key to, because I know it ain't all peaches and creams all the time. I get that. But what is the key to making y'all marriage? I don't want to say relationship because y'all married and it was ordained by God. What is the key to you guys making it like, making it feel like you still dating? What is the key to that?
And it's in the context of this last. I wanted to ask the question.
Okay.
He asked it a very question.
What
advice do you have for us as we need to rethink relationship roles for a healthier future? What can you tell us? Y'all are doing it.
Right. Exactly. So
I'll say this. For me, I'm going to go by me. I'll let Bert speak for himself because he's his own person. So we both been married before, so we already knew. Also, we learned to know each other and have a conversation. I think a lot of people don't have those conversations that you should because they're scared. So before we even got married, before we crossed that line, he knew what I wanted and I knew what he wanted. Now, as far as we're still married now, we are married, but we are individuals. We are not Siamese twins. We are not strapped to the same thing. If he wants to do something, I'll let him. I want to do something, he like, I don't question you. Because at the end of the day, we're married, but we're still individuals. Also, I respect the fact that he's still the man of this house. And I know me, I'm a strong woman, and he knew that I'm a strong woman. But even me being strong, I'm able to be more vulnerable, what I wasn't able to be before. So I think the fact that we know ourselves and we know ourselves together and separately, it just able to have us still being. Also, I don't be around here looking like no bum. Like, I'm going to get my hair and nails done and keep myself together because I'm married.
I know that's right.
Because I'm married, I got to be a bum. Right. Like, people are like, I got him, right. I can let it slack. No. And also, I work full time and I still cook every night. And that's just me, though. He doesn't require it. Right. But that's me. Like, I'm going to cook every day but Friday. I'm going to make sure the household is fine. And he allows me to do it. He like, you doing this and that? Because that's just me. So I don't feel as though, I think I was raised a different way, though. So I think all depends on who you are. But I just think I respect and love the fact that he allows me to be me. And that's why we can get along, because I don't try to change him. He doesn't try to change me. But we learn how to communicate. And even if we get upset, we know what not to do. Because if you can be upset, you can have an argument, but you can't be disrespectful.
I love that.
All right.
As a woman, you took over the mic and you went on and on and on. And I love you, Shahan. I love you to death. I know why he told you to go first, because your ass is long-winded. I already know.
You know what, Kenny? Kenny, don't you have nothing else to drink? Okay, don't you have nothing else to drink?
No, I'm good. But I really want to talk to my married couple, because I really want to be married again. I want to be in love again. I want to have that. So I want to get it from a couple that I know.
Right.
They got it. They got it. So I want to listen. That's what I'm talking about. So I know, and I love Shahana. You my sister. I love you.
We here, bro.
Yeah, but goddamn it, your ass go on for old. Because I want to hear my brother. I know he did. But I want to hear from my brother. I want to hear from my brother Bert, my brother Ghost. Holler at us. Talk to the brothers. Tell us, how can we find
you gotta love
Queen?
you gotta love the person. You gotta really love the person that you with, and you gotta have a lot of patience. You know, and that's the key. That's the key part. And I'm talking about on both sides. She had to have a lot of patience with me. I gotta have a lot of patience with her. And to sum it all up, she was totally right. I'm always a big believer that whoever I marry, I want you to be the same way you were when I met what attracted me to you. Yeah, we all evolve and we all grow and we all change a little bit, but don't change to the point where you're unrecognizable. Be your own unapologetic self. Go out there. If you want to hang out with your girls for a little bit, go ahead, knock yourself off. I only have one requirement. Just let me know when you arrive so I know that you're safe, and let me know when you're coming home so that way I can look for you just in case something go down. I can get to you or try to find out where you at.
That's right.
But other than that, you gotta look. Answers make the heart grow fonder. So again, we're not always together all the time, and in nature, because you do need that time apart.
Right.
And as long as you can understand that and know that that person still loves you and know that you love them, that's all that matters. But you gotta love the person that you're with, and you gotta understand that nobody's perfect. You got your pitfalls, they got their pitfalls, but you gotta be understanding of it. And if you can get through all of that, you're gonna have a great marriage. You're gonna have a great life. You're gonna have a great relationship. Whatever way, however you're gonna do it. But you gotta love the person that you with, and you gotta make sure that you are totally compatible with them.
So let me ask you, Brother Kenny. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You know what? I love the way that Shahana was looking at Bert when he was talking, because she was looking at him like, "I'm gonna tear your ass up when we get up this phone. I'm gonna tear your ghost looking ass up."
Kenny is on one today.
I'm telling you.
Kenny is on one.
I was looking at Hannah. I was listening to what Bert, but I was looking at Hannah. I was like, "Oh, she gonna tear his ass up when he get off this goddamn phone."
Kenny, my brother.
I love this. I miss y'all.
I miss y'all too. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I miss all y'all. Real talk,
man.
Real talk.
And that's why as we close out, because we're gonna be going all of July.
Right.
As we close out, we're
gonna be on. We're going on in July.
What?
Yeah, we're gonna take July off. Well, next weekend was gonna be 4th of July anyway, and it's summer and this that. Now I might pop in and do some individual stuff, but we're gonna take July off.
Yeah, make sure y'all pop in because Black gonna be. I'm sure he gonna be doing this thing.
I'll do a little thing, but Kenny, I want to ask you, and then Tasha, I'm gonna save you for last. As we look at this, because Brother Kenny, you said you are looking for love. You want to be in marriage.
Yeah, I do.
That subject at the end, what's your takeaway as you look at these topics we covered and you rethink the relationship roles for a healthier future? What's your takeaway from this?
I would say this. I think we just got to be. Kenny, what comedy club are you playing this weekend? I could be quite the comedian. Yeah, thank you, my good brother Craig. I would say this. Real talk, being honest. I would say this. I really want to see Black love win, and I say this all the time, and I just think that I'm so disheartened with when I see online and social media the back and forth and the negativity between Black men and Black women, and I don't like that because I believe that we love each other, but I want us to listen to one another, listen, and let's figure out how we can go from that point. But I do know I do want to be in love with somebody again.
Tasha?
That's what I'm searching for.
And Tasha, I know you're not looking, but as you look at what's happening out here, what's your takeaway from rethinking relationship roles as people work to get to a healthier place?
Well, I would hope with a lot of the topics that we discussed tonight that I do hope that it is true that a lot of these are being shifted and changing for the better. I don't know that we'll be able to see it in just a couple of years of of relationships, but something different needs to happen, better than what's going on right now, because there is a major divide, and people, are opting to either not have relationships or getting into relationships much later.
Mm-hmm.
So, then there's just like this huge gap of time. So I'm excited for what it could mean for relationships. So, but no.
Gosh, I think we're kind of on the same place. This whole conversation started because I was sharing with Tasha that I never thought that I would get to this place of my life, in all seriousness, where I don't even know anymore where I fit in. And
I feel
and
the
the things
way.
that I used to be attracted to, I'm no longer attracted to anymore. If I go back to the beginning of this show, and I was telling Tasha as I'm riding around talking to her for hours today, she was accustomed to me in the middle of conversation. She would be saying, "Black, focus," because I used to say, "Oh my God, that whooping ass," and I didn't realize that
you gotta get out of that.
No, here's where I'm going, Kenny. I didn't realize that something happened. I don't even. Tasha, you vouch for this. You don't hear that from me anymore because I don't see women in that way. I'm disgusted in a way with the twerking and this, that, and the other. And I went to an event recently when my nephew was here a couple of months ago. I'm in a room full of women, and I was bored to death. And I started to realize I don't know what used to attract me doesn't attract me anymore. So my takeaway from this is what Tasha says. I hope the pendulum is swinging back, because we went so far in one direction that, to Tasha's point, I hope some changes are happening for the better. She's right. We don't should go back to the way it used to be. We're in a different dynamic. Women are in a different place. They're demanding more. They deserve more. I get that. But not at the expense of where it's taking us here. Whereas you guys talked about social media, the way it projects the relationship. Kenny, you say you want to see Black love win. I do too. But because social media is so loud, that's who's making the noise. And I think in many ways it's preventing people like me from finding what you two have, Hannah and Bert. Because you guys seem to have fused the traditional with what it's evolved into. You're not one of my favorite couples. You are my favorite couple that I know.
They're definitely in my top.
You are my favorite for me. You're my favorite couple I know because of your genuine connection and getting to know you over these years.
Look at that. Look at rubbing. Really, you see her rub her man head.
Right.
You see her there?
And that's the thing.
Hannah, I'm watching.
I've
been drinking. I've been drinking. I'm feeling good, but I'm watching.
Kitty
is my brother. Kitty,
what you drinking?
Kitty is going through it right now.
Yeah, I see you. Hey, brother Bird, you good?
I'm good, brother.
You don't need no help, do you? You good?
I'm all the way good.
No more drinking. Y'all gonna get right tonight.
I love y'all. You know I love y'all.
For those who watching, this is how much we missed each other. We truly
and then you're gonna be gone for a month.
We're gonna be gone for a month. It's hot. Hey. It's a lot going on.
But the mail room is gonna be big around.
I'm going to my sister's 50th anniversary party coming up in a couple of weeks. So again, there was going to be a couple of weeks.
50 is married?
Yeah, July
50 years married?
50 years. Wow. Harold and Lynn, you got to remember, my brother-in-law Harold met Lynn when she was 16.
Wow.
Where's from uptown? From New York?
Well, I got to go to Pine Bluff, of all places, Pine Bluff, Arkansas. But they're celebrating 50 years of marriage. So again, we was going to be off next weekend anyway for the 4th of July.
Right.
Then I was going to have to take off.
I don't know about that white man holiday. I'm saying.
Look,
No,
whether I
yeah,
celebrate or not,
Honda.
I'm glad to be off because I'm
We don't
tired
give a
as a
shit about
motherfucker.
that.
I'm off
For 4th of July, LIE, but that's a whole nother time.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Right.
But getting me and Brother Black, we're gonna have the mail room coming.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's
coming. Sherry said, Kenny, that we
It's
need to get us a
coming.
New York woman, you know. But
Ooh,
I'm
wait.
gonna again, she said, but I'm gonna be popping in, doing my thing here and there, spur of the moment. So, and I say that because the invitation is always open for anybody want to pop in, because you know I'm gonna have to pop in when we get to this P. Diddy decision. So when you see me pop in for different things, if y'all want to pop in, please show up. But the case is rested. It's in the jury's hands.
Oh,
really?
I haven't been following.
It's in the jury's hands.
I had to
we're gonna have we're probably gonna have a verdict this week.
They said they hope to have a verdict before the 4th of July. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm still going live to give my opinion. So yeah.
My rum hitting, my bad.
But if you you guys told me, had y'all been working?
You know, Tasha being quiet down there.
Right.
I'm looking at Tasha. The reason I'm asking because it's like Tasha being quiet. I'm sure it's some Memphis gangster down there.
Oh, you know what? Kenny's acting. I'm like, Kenny,
I be in the house. Nope.
Well, Tasha already a Memphis gangster, so I already know she got a Cadillac down.
Tasha is a PIMP, y'all.
I be in the
I
house.
know she a pimp anyway.
I sold the Cadillac, Kenny. I sold the Cadillac, Kenny.
Yeah,
I did. I sold the
Cadillac. Yeah, she did.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I got a new car. Yeah, I got a new car in
sold
January. Yeah,
Yep.
I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ain't sell that ass though. Y'all know that.
No, I did not have to sell the ass. No. I did financing. I financed that ass. That's what I did.
She sold that Cadillac, but she ain't sell that ass though.
No, I financed it.
Yeah. Now y'all got me saying, look, my brother, do your thing. I'm living vicariously through you right now.
This episode has been one of the best so far.
Oh my God.
I'm messing with Tasha. She already know. I already know she a pimp though.
It's all love.
I already know Tasha a pimp. She ain't fooled me. I already know.
Sis, we missed you on the show tonight. Say hey to mom. And again,
what did Sherry say, brother? And Kenny
we need a New York woman.
Oh.
So
you know what, Sherry? No, y'all New York women, y'all wear Timberlands. I don't fuck with them.
There you go. There you go. Kenny is lit.
No, I ain't trying to fuck with no New York woman. Y'all be on
now trying to set you up with somebody.
You got a New York? No, I always gotta have me a Southern man. No,
that's what's
up.
New York
Southern man.
What?
That's what's up. And I prefer Southern women.
What? Wait a minute, Sean. You say you can't do with a Southern man. What the hell?
No,
well, Bert from Philly, so that's kind of on.
Well, yeah, but my family from LaGrange, Georgia. I raised the farm. Like I had to milk cows and everything. I'm a. That thing is why Bert and I get along, because I'm a city girl, but I'm a Southern girl.
Oh, hang on, y'all. I'm gonna end the show and we can hang out and talk in the background. Because anybody popping in, they probably thinking we're still doing the show.
They think we crazy.
Hey, we probably think well, hell, my ass drunk. I ain't gonna lie, my ass fucking drunk right now.
We just have not seen each other, folks. And so when you go back and watch this, yeah, my man is lit. We haven't seen each other. We will see y'all. We're gonna be off for the entire month of July. And look, have some laughs, have some fun, and we will see you guys on the other side. Anybody want to hang in afterwards? I love you guys. Have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm gonna end this stream. As always, keep it real.